Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's God killing the house, man. Man, it's our second time going live today, man. We got to keep it real sharp and keep it highly educated, man. Because it's important. Y'all see the screen, man. Homo ignoramus. Avoidus. Evidentius. Avoidus evidentius. Dinosaurus tracks. Deniosaurus tracks. Dinosaurus. Dinosaurus tracks. Fact repellent. No facts. It's in the right-hand corner. Comfortable club. y'all be comfortable in y'all lies and misinformation with the earplugs and with the small brains unused, the willfully ignorant, the blindness of denial, misinformation, I believe, hid in the sand. Man, apostle to ignorance, the ignorant fails again. Man, what's up, Cedric? What it do, man? What it do? What it do? What it do?
Is that you?
That's you. That's always you. You don't gotta be having the overseas phones.
Ain't got nothing.
You might got something on. You probably got to close everything out.
Yeah, I got it. See,
Let me see if I can help. Let me see. Let me see my audio. Echo cancellation. Let me see. Let me see. Nope.
Nothing else open.
Right. You might be good right there.
Testing. Yeah, we good.
Got you. Keep open.
Man.
So, first of all, signs don't speak in absolutes, man. You know, and I'm never listening to a person that believe in the Bible tell me he ain't hearing no final answers. And scientific articles. I'm never listening to that. That's got to be the biggest scam ever. That a God is dedicated to the biblical text, the Bible. Dedicated to the Bible and sitting here telling us, I'm trying to hear a final answer. He ain't got a final answer since Genesis.
But what final answer are you expecting? And again, the whole endeavor is moving the goalpost and built on a flawed premise. Remember where this conversation started. Ankh, you're wrong. They got it from sheeps.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. That's where he started his whole diatribe. The French got it because they were nasty and everybody knows what they're doing with the sheep.
Wow.
I stay very focused and watch what's going on. That's why I kept coming back to, no, that's debunked. Then he's playing with the chronology and using the lookership of the ancients. So all of these, he did an Enki. Remember when Enki was doing the chicken pox thing? He's doing the exact same thing. So in the ancient world, we have these physical features, physical characteristics, which before modern science, before the consensus, before genetics, they put it in that classification. He is using the two hypotheses as if we don't have substantial evidence supporting the one over the next. And this whole endeavor is to hide his pseudoisms and the fact that we expose him for being wrong. This is a bunch of tomfoolery.
I mean, he's looking for an answer that science just don't give. You know what I'm saying? Like science never speak in absolutes, and it's still open. There's going to be more information to come to the table. What's going on, Joe? What's up, Joe? Joel? What's good?
Kyle, Joel.
Hey, Joe, you on the clock? You on the clock, yo? You about to fall out? You about to turn into a frog?
Hey, look, when it strike 10 o'clock, you're going to see me disappear. Where'd he go? He must have lost connection. No, I didn't. I hit the escape button. What's up to y'all brothers, man?
Nothing. I want to get right into the clip. What's going on, Gella?
What's good with it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, chilling.
Your dude was tripping, y'all. He was wilding, y'all.
And y'all over there struggling.
Yeah, he don't even understand that Columbus came back at 1493, and then too, you know what I'm saying? The Italian, so the Italian War, the French used Spanish mercenaries. You know what I'm saying? Spanish soldiers fought in the front. He wild, bro. He wild, bro.
Let me say this. I want to keep it straight. So he want to hear, yeah, we certain 100% that it came from America. That's what he want to hear, right? Besides, even speak like that.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, he does. He because his
That's
hypothesis
what he's
is
looking
that
for.
the
That's
Europeans brought it here.
Yeah,
He said
science
it.
never say
He
that.
said the reasons brought it in through the Bering Strait, yo.
Those are Eurasians. Yeah, we know they come
Yeah. The
15,000
Native Americans.
years ago.
No. We're gonna listen to it. I got the source, but I just want to be, we got to make sure when we transmit the science, we transmit it correctly. So he's listening for a particular thing that he's not even listening for in his own damn religion, which is the wildest thing ever to me. Within his own religion, he ain't got no certainty. From the book of Genesis, the 5 books, all the way to the New Testament, ain't nothing definite nowhere in that. Science never speaks in absolutes. Religion do. Okay? So we're saying the consensus as of today points more to the Americas than anywhere else. That doesn't mean they don't have evidence in other places, but the compiling evidence as of 2026, right? The consensus is they point to America. That don't mean that it can't change over time. That don't mean that they won't get more evidence. But the bones, the genomes, and all that is pointing in this direction. He don't understand that. I ain't had time to argue about that.
It was 3 different sources read that said that, but because it's not definitely like he wants it to be said in a way where, like the article reads in a way where it says we know 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt that it came from.
No, that's not what it is. Now, when we in the middle of an argument with you know what I'm saying, with an ignorant person, right? Like it's impossible to say, hold on, bro, science transmit. Oh, I can't do it. So let's get right to the video. All right, let's get right to it. And let's hear him. Let's hear Homo ignoramus. Here we go. Yeah, that man had me hot, man. Are you saying I'm responsible for making uncuss? Yeah, you was, yo, because I set that one out. I swear I did. I set that one out. I'm telling you, I set that one out. All right. Here we go.
There's no excuse for what in Cedric Act yesterday.
But I'm gonna tell you something, Apostle. You got to learn how to accept responsibility. You were wrong yesterday.
I was not wrong.
Yes, you were, brother. You were wrong.
Oh, you got.
Still doing it. Unc was 100% correct.
Okay, then both of y'all gonna be wrong.
Because I looked it up myself. You know,
show it. I'm going to prove it and show it. All you had to do was read the article. That's all you had to do.
Okay, let me see you prove this.
Read the article. Like I didn't read it until afterwards. When I left the show, I read the article. But we're going to read it today. And we're going to find out how it got to America. Yes, it was here.
It been here before Columbus, though.
Yes, it was. Because they brought it through the Bering Streets. When they came through the land bridge, the Europeans brought it with them. See, I'm going all the way back. I'm going all the way back to iniquity. I'm going all the way back to 300 BC. And show you it came from Europe. And show you the disease came from Europe. But that's how awesome the disease was.
He going all the way back to iniquity.
That's pretty far back.
You don't get no farther than iniquity.
No, sir. That's got to be the Garden of Eden. That's where iniquity started.
Not in ancient times, but in iniquity. That's how, man, stop it. Stop it.
Not antiquity, but iniquity.
Iniquity.
I got to go all the way back to Adam and Eve for that one.
All the way back to 300 BCE.
No, further than that, bro.
No, that's iniquity. Yeah, I don't even, what is iniquity? What?
You know what iniquity is, right?
Iniquity. Yeah, that's like, I don't know what.
That's the sin in the Bible. When you commit a sin, that's iniquity.
Right. The iniquity. Yeah, right.
Just wanna
Yeah,
always go to
he taking us back to sin. The sin. He's not taking us back to antiquity. In 300 BC is not antiquity. That's modern history. He's taking us back to iniquity.
Yeah,
Garden of Eden.
Yeah,
You say iniquity, yo, with an L, bro. I don't know where that was. That's
in a
at
queue.
the store where you get now ladies at back in the day. You know what I mean? Had to be. Okay. All right. Let me move this. Let me go to the Journal of Science. This what he was trying to say. When the Europeans didn't come across the Bering Strait, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
He's saying, I'm gonna take y'all back where sin was started. Is that what you saying?
Iniquity.
Hey, but you know what I told him, y'all? I told him he's so busy fighting with the white man, the European. He's so busy fighting with them that he overdoing it. Like he want to put he went so far as to say that he was having sex with the sheeps on the slave ships, and that's how the daggone disease got
where it started. That's where this whole debate started. So once that was debunked and proven wrong, I got up there and dismissed that in 2 seconds. He moving the goalpost now. So this whole argument is in defense of his pseudoisms because he got proven wrong. So now he needs to one-up us. This is a one-up thing.
In the time of iniquity.
Yeah. And then he clearly read,
Across the Bering Straits they walked, and they had the staff of Moses, and they brought Syphilis with them. They had the Native Americans just in time for Christopher Columbus.
yeah, man. And then the dude talking about some the disease came straight from a dude named Syphilis. That's a mythical character, yo. That's a Greek mythical character.
All right, man. Look.
Is it really, Yellow? Is that really a mythical?
He read it. He read it.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Okay, let's this the point he was trying to make right here. All right. So we come to the Journal of Nature. All right. Excuse me if I mispronounce. What's this? Philidium? Am I saying it right? Philidium.
Philidium.
You're a brave man. Them words was killing me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to say brave. Hell with it.
T. pallidum.
T. pallidum. All right, man. Pallidum. It say the study confirms the presence of the study confirms the presence in Americas of a deeply diverged lineage for all 3 known type of Philidium subspecies prior to the first Columbian expedition in 1497. Okay. Consideration of these broad data in 2 different molecular dating approaches has yielded an upper bound of around 9,000 BP for the emergence of the most recent ancestor common to all Tephilidium. It says this post dates both current genetic estimates for the initial divergence of indigenous American populations from Eastern Asia and archaeological estimates for the human arrival in the America. Once again, this post dates both current genetic estimates for the initial divergence. Okay, so it diverged, right? Post date for the initial divergence of the indigenous American population from East Asia and archaeological estimates for the human arrival in the Americas. It says our data supports the scenario in which all genetically typed ancient and modern Tephilidium stem from an origin in the Americas during the Middle Holocene. That's what he wanted to talk about. Epic possible as a zoonotic infection, right, from an unidentified host. Alternatively, post-glacial migration of Siberian peoples into America over the past 5,000 years could have introduced Tephilidium to the continent under the assumption of a Eurasian emergence. However, the exclusively northern movements of these small populations make it unlikely for them to have both harbored and transmitted the diversity needed to seed the endemic sister lineage of both TPA and the TPETN clad in the time periods and locations we report here. There you go. That's what he was trying to say. Okay, the paleopathological interpretation also supports the endemic temple, which is the tree panome, the man. I'm gonna do it like this because that's a good one. Hold on. Let me see. Treponematosis in the Americas that predates the migration. There you go. So he's saying it's predate the migration. He was trying to talk about that. That's what he was trying to say. So he read this and didn't get it. It's a lot of words in here. Like divergence. He wouldn't understand that. Like the Holocene. What's the time period for the Holocene? Around 11,000 BC. It's the Holocene.
Yep.
The glacial, post-glacial migration. You don't know what that is? Okay. You know, America was covered in ice. It's called the Laurentide ice sheet. So none of this stuff would he understand, and then tried to hit it. And that's what he said on that video was his interpretation. Yeah, we got to all stop this. Like this is what we're not doing. Okay. So
the very first sentence you read also is important because he brings up the two children found in Greece. And you know how they had a variant of it, and so in his mind, well, because it was in Greece that far back, then it had to be the Europeans that brought it this way. You see what I'm saying? Like because they left from that area and came to the Americas, that's why it ended up in the Americas.
Yeah, that's a misconception because what they found in Greece, right? That's the looker ship, right? That's that outdated information. Genomic studies show that this is a variant, right, of these bacteria that causes different type of symptoms. But what is clearly stated in this article is that we are looking at the two main clades that diverged in the Americas of syphilis. So whatever we find in Europe prior to this, is it syphilis? No, it's not.
No,
right?
it's not. It wasn't even second transmitted. It wasn't even second transmitted. It was skin to skin.
Yeah, different mode of transmission.
Right. Yeah. Remember, I brought that up. How the pus. Yeah.
So then they call syphilis the mock disease because some of the symptoms, you know what I'm saying, you might think it's something else, but you know what I'm saying, because some of the symptoms are similar to other things.
Exactly. So this is.
So, I mean, it can be difficult for somebody to understand. What's crazy is how much even though he can like 3 different articles read it, he if he don't read something that's indefinite, then he just won't accept it.
But there's a lot of comprehension issues going on here because if you see the divergence of the strains that we're talking about in the Americas post-glacial, post-glacial melting, then you understand that it's firmly rooted in the Americas, the strains we are talking about. That ends half of the discussion that we're having about Greece, about ancient finds in Glasgow. These are no longer in the equation. So when you read and you watch how he's doing it, he's confusing the chronology of the information that is there to make a point that is not valid.
Right.
Pure flim flam.
Yeah.
Right. But be all right. So a lot of these articles leave it kind of wide open.
Suppose in case they find some more stuff. They ain't supposed to close it like the Bible. You get it? The articles are never gonna close. That's not science.
It's not science. He talking about
that's what people got.
He talking about that's what science is. I said you don't even agree with the evolution. How can you agree with this?
It says the data clearly support a root in the Americas for syphilis and its known relatives and their introduction to Europe. starting around the late 15th century, is most consistent with the data as BOS, a subsequent to this, and an explosion in cases of syphilis. Oh my goodness. The explosion of cases of syphilis in yards seemed to have occurred around 1500 AD. This is likely behind the breadth of intensity of the 16th century outbreak in Europe, whose global spread was facilitated by human trafficking networks in Europe, expansions across the Americas and Africa in the decades and centuries that follow. While indigenous American groups harbored early forms of these diseases, Europeans were instrumental in spreading them around the world, she concludes.
Yeah.
They say here's that. That'll mess them up.
And I would say, it depends on who the perspective was. You know, what I'm saying, they called the disease different names. You know, so the Italians, they call it the French disease.
Damn, God damn, hold on, bro. Your phone loud as shit. Let me finish this sentence. Come on, bro.
Gotta try and get it out, man.
Yeah, come on, man. I was in the middle of reading. Let me get here. It say with support of the American origin of syphilis. How does the current narrative square up with the evidence of syphilis like bone lesions and many claims that have identified the pre-1492 Europe? It say the search will continue to define these earlier forms of ancient DNA will surely be valuable sources, comments, curses. It says, who knows what older related diseases made it around the world in humans and other animals before syphilis family appears. This is Max Planck. So we use the journal of Science. They wrote this in collaboration, Journal of Nature, and they wrote this in collaboration with Max Planck. This is the high level. Go ahead, Gullah.
No, I was saying was like he was so wrapped around them calling it the French disease. I mean, the French, even them said they call it the Neapolitan disease. They blamed it on the Italians. The Italians blamed it on the French, and even some instances they called it the Spanish disease. And then when it got to like Ottoman Empire, they called it the Christian disease. So it was mostly the naming part was really political and like xenophobic, you know, because these people was war with each other, so they're blaming each other. You know what I'm saying? Who started disease or whatever. But pretty much when that outbreak happened, you know, even though France was the epicenter, all them damn Europeans that were coherent with each other, trading, especially the Latin speakers, they all had it. It just wasn't an outbreak yet. It just carried, you know, being passed around slowly.
But you know what, Gullah, you said something earlier that really needs to be highlighted. That may be his main blockage from understanding this. He doesn't really accept evolution.
No, that's the one point, though. He don't.
Huh?
No, you're right. That's the point. Yeah, he don't understand evolution. So why is
he don't accept it? So if in his mind, anything that he reads, he's already got that bias block. So in his mind, the only way this can be transmitted is it can only be in one place. It can't be like it, you know, it developed different characteristics in another area. No, those characteristics had to come from the place where that outbreak was at. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Because it's like there's no evolution in his mind.
His anti-European, his racist position, so he wants to maintain an outdated folklore. The fact that when the conversation started, I know how it came there. It was because of their nasty behavior with the sheeps, right? He kept going around that point, bringing it back to the French to make his point that it came from their misconduct with animals, right? Clearly unsupported hypothesis. No one says that claim is unsupported, right? And he's going around the rosy just to undermine whatever a scientific presentation we were making. The fact that he had no validity mean that he had to go out of his way to prove that he was right. And all he ended up doing was proving how wrong he was and how ignorant he is to the scientific method.
Yeah, because he got a whole lot of stuff wrong. Besides this, he got people migrations wrong.
Everything. confusing the whole conversation to the point that he got Raja agreeing with his hypothesis, as if these two hypotheses have equal standing, when genetic information, which he read at the beginning, indicates that everyone, all science, is moving in the direction of where the genetic evidence goes. Science doesn't speak in absolutes, right? So you'll never get 100% because more data. Right? I keep telling everyone there are laboratories that consistently.
Yeah, they do it on purpose.
Yeah, it's just on purpose. That's all it is.
Big up to all the pseudo killers, man. Big up to Juju, man. Man, big up to everybody. Cedric, Joel, Gullah. Big up to everybody in the chat, man. So, science is very, very hard. And, I can't make you understand it. So it's not speaking in absolutes. And this is the danger of having a biblical mind. But it confuses me a lot, man, because this man don't got nothing close to this when he talking about his religious beliefs at all. And so as we read right here in the journal Science, this is the third journal, right? It said, however, contrary to the early European narratives of Paleodome, strands circulating in the Americas prior to contact may not have caused syphilis-like symptoms or been spread sexually. Combining the newly sequenced genomes with samples from 1500 published earlier, it says the author suggests the bacteria underwent an evolutionary jump right around the 1500s, perhaps mutating into a sexually transmitted form just before or after 1492. What we call syphilis emerged right around the contact period, says co-author Kinston Boss, a geneticist at Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology. Still, some researchers point out there are very few samples, from the Americas and none from Africa or Asia that might help piece together bacterium deep history. Scientists are always talking and always telling the truth. So I can't make you understand that. I can't make you see none of that. So scientists never jump to conclusions, and we should not too. But based off of what the consensus is talking about and available data, genome sequences, travel patterns of the humans during that time, I'll say it this way, more than likely syphilis was brought from the Americas to Europe. That's when I'm gonna say it that way. But that's the way scientists talk. And I'm never understanding why a person that believes in the Bible would need any more than that, because everything is guesswork. Like in the beginning, where was the damn beginning? And who was talking in the beginning? Where was that at?
Well, they do that by faith, Uncle, so you don't need all that.
You know what's surprising to me? That the same apostle has no problem when New World and Old World contact transfer of the chicken of pox, smallpox, etc. We have no problem accepting that mode of transmission, but the other way around is something that is impossible. Why can't there be New World diseases for which the European population haven't developed an immunity or any type of resistance? Because we see that when contact is made, that this infectious form comes into play, whereas it is endemic to the population in the Americas without that type of expression. So all the evidence points to Old and New World contact. You can accept it one way, but you can't accept it the other way, when both evolutionary tracks have the same outcome. Certain diseases and certain viruses and certain pathogens are going to follow humans. Why is it so hard to accept it the other way around?
Big up to Stu Peas. He about to die at any moment. Big up to you, Stu Peas. That's how you hit him. That's how you hit him with the crushing blow. Don't hold back on them, because they don't hold back on you. Big up to Stu Peas. Stu Peas.
Yeah, I think you got a good point there, Cedric.
Chatty and the Patty.
Uncan't
Yeah, this is
read.
like
What's this?
yeah, this is like SARS and COVID. You know what I'm saying? COVID existed before COVID-19, but it's different mutations of it. Like, you know, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, because if you look at what Stu Peas is saying, that was the same thing that
No, we talking about what we read right here.
right. No, but look,
What
no.
he
but
talking
there-
about?
I said, listen, there are some articles. See, this
But
is
we
what,
talking about what we read right here. We ain't talking about some articles. We talking about what we read on the screen right here.
right.
Get my point now. This is the only thing Stu Peas can be talking about is what I read right here to say I can't read.
When folks out to disprove stuff,
They gonna jump. Oh, okay.
they go
All right.
digging. They go digging in the
Okay.
crates.
Okay.
No,
A virus does not mutate. A virus mutates faster, especially an RNA-based virus, because of its easy reproduction. And we know that reproducing DNA, genetic material is never a one-to-one process. Mutations happen naturally. That's why we have diversity that we see today. So to say virus doesn't mutate is complete ignorance. Kufus Allen,
right. So we're having a really complex conversation with folks who probably don't get the basics, and so, oh man, it's like so much we got to work through just to get people to understand it. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, no one claims that a virus is alive. A virus needs a host cell for its replication. The fact that the virus works by hijacking a cell's ability to reproduce proteins. We know this how viruses reproduce. This is how this is what made the fourth generation vaccine
Yeah, I'm gonna read this for you. Hold on. This is Stu Peas. This is Stu Peas. Hey, Stu Peas. This is the last article I was reading right here. This is the last line. I read this line. I read these last two lines right here, bro. All right. Now, before I read that, what does Stu Peas say? Because I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for you.
Put them on the screen.
Syphilis bacteria. Hold on. Pull up the last paragraph, okay? Last paragraph that I read. Syphilis is a bacteria, not a virus. Okay? Now, let's see. Let's see if we get this out this. It says still. Some researchers point out there are few samples from the Americas and none. Is that the word none, or am I misreading that?
That's what it looked like to me.
None from Africa or Asia that might help piece together the bacterium's deep history. What the hell are you? You know what? You can't read, Stu Peas. See how I go? It's always that, bro. He
What's his
can't
point?
comprehend the sentence.
So we talk about the virus and
No,
its
I'm not getting off that subject because I'm tired of that. This is what I'm tired of. The nigga don't support the show anyway. When he come on here, he talk crazy. He's stammering and stammering. He the one can't read. He the one out of order. He the one not up here. That's on him.
Come up and explain what he means.
No, I know what he mean. I know what he mean. He said, I can't read. He said, pull up the paragraph back up, right? And he says, hold on. He said, it was the last paragraph that you read. Hold on. It said the bacteria was present in Europe before the Americas. Man, the last paragraph, it said Asia and Africa. Although Europe is in part of Asia, they call it Eurasia or something like that. Is that what are you saying? Because none of them paragraphs said what I said.
So
what are you talking about, bro? Nah, you just need to apologize. You don't stay off that, yo.
yeah, so this is in reference to syphilis, right? And we know the divergence of the two strands that caused, and one of them produced syphilis. It goes back to 9,000 years in the Americas. What we don't have is the deep history of the bacterium, right? The evolution that led to what we have here. We don't have that information. That's all that's saying.
Hold on. I didn't even read. Let me see. Now, I didn't even read this paragraph. Didn't read that. But if I read it, it says because samplings is always imperfect, the absence of genetic evidence from pre-contact Europe isn't evidence for syphilis absence. Majana says, okay, I didn't read that. That says still absence.
That's a body bag, though. Read that.
No, really plates, but I'm saying, man, I just, you know what? It's just sometimes, man, you know, people can be real mean, and then when I say something mean, it's always worse. This dude don't support this show, yo. He pop up over here when he want to, because he ain't got no real heart, because it's tough over here. And if you say I can't read, nigga, you better prove I can't read. We're going to go sentence for sentence. That's what we're going to do. Make sure you comprehend it. So you ain't even comprehend that last sentence, because it definitely said absence of it.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what the word absent means, please?
Read the last paragraph.
That means he skipped school.
So let me read the last paragraph. Zuckerman, though, says the combination of historical, archaeological, and genetic evidence in the new study makes an American origin for syphilis the most likely explanation. This paper doesn't close the book, but it's really close, she says.
Right, man. I don't even feel like doing, but I'm saying, yo, it's just their attempt to attack, though, yo. And I'm saying, yo, why I gotta be this type of environment, yo? Why can't it be, you know, let's work together? Why it's gotta be, I'm gonna beat Ankh at all costs? I'm gonna say in the chat, because I can say anything I want that the nigga can't read. And then we pull up and you the nigga that can't read. See? Why is it that?
Science deniers.
Science denier. You're a science denier, bro.
Hey, check out that. Take a quick peruse over that when I drop. Look in the private chat.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna drop the links. 2Ps. You want to get up here and talk that talk and prove to me what sentence I don't comprehend, because that's what you must mean. I can't comprehend it.
That might be a good one to read.
Now we're moving the goalpost.
Where you at?
We're moving the goalpost and asking the connection between tuberculosis and syphilis. It's completely non sequitur and has nothing to do with the conversation. So we're not even going there, because this is a straw man. This is moving the goalpost and trying to take us down a rabbit hole. The conversation is about syphilis and its origins. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but
we know the history. We know all the politicizing of the virus. We don't understand all of that. We know that there were fundamental mistakes made in the past, attributing symptoms they saw in ancient Greece to syphilis. We now know that this is incorrect information. We understand that.
yeah, we read the actual.
What is the problem?
We read the Nature magazine too, yo. We actually read that. And it says this archaeological news. We actually read the article. This is from the syphilis sexually transmitted infection that devastated Europe during the late 15th century has puzzled researchers for decades. It says a new study published in Nature provides groundbreaking insight into the debate over whether the disease originated in the Americas or existed in Europe before the voyages of Christopher Columbus. It says drawn on the ancient DNA from archaeological remains across America, the study strongly supports the hypothesis that syphilis and its related diseases have deep roots in America. Yeah, that's good. Okay. What's up, Malik? What's going on with you, brother? Peace, bro.
Big up to everybody on the show.
Yes.
Big up.
So, okay, so you ran your fat mouth for no reason in the chat.
Everybody. I admit that I'm fat and I have a fat mouth, right? Okay. I admit that. But you start off the conversation that way because I start off to say you can't read.
Yeah, why you say it? Why you say it though?
So,
why you say it?
The paragraph of the article that you presented, it says that, and being that Cedric supposed to be somebody in charge of the labs, you understand that diseases are a causative agent. And according to that paper that you read, is that it said T. pallidum, the causative agent of syphilis, has been identified in Europe prior to Christopher Columbus. But you said, based on what you have read, that syphilis may have come from the Americas. Now, the causative agent of a disease.
No, hold on, you gotta stop. Hold on.
Read about the paper. Read about the paper.
What you saying? I read that to the audience, yo?
No, but what the statement
No,
that you
hold
made?
on. No, I didn't make it.
I
Hold
said
on.
you
No,
can't read based on the statement that you made. The statement that you made.
no. You said
That's incorrect with the statement that you made. First thing, the statement that you made is that syphilis may have come from the Americas based on what you have observed, right? But yet in the paper tell you that the T. pallidum, the causative agent, we know that disease have causative agent, right? Correct, Cedric?
I'll tell you what, Michael. This we not gonna do. You're not going here and sit up in my face and lie to me like this, bro.
What did you say?
You're not gonna do it. So
No,
hold
what
on.
what
Slow it
you said?
down. Slow it down.
Uh-huh.
Slow it down. Slow it down for a minute, brother. You didn't say a statement I made. You said the paragraph I read.
No, I said based on the paragraph, based on the statement you made, the paragraph.
Hold on for a minute.
The paper that you
I
presented.
entered
Okay. That means you're being disingenuous.
Okay,
You saw
well,
it on the paper, you didn't read it then. Is
this is
either one or
what
two
you do.
things?
This is what you're not
Either
gonna do. You're
disingenuous
not
or
gonna
you can't
overtalk me. We're gonna keep it cordial.
We're cordial.
Right. So here, hold on. So here you go. It said you. This are your words typing. It said, and it's part of course to read what you typed because we can mistype and we can misspeak. But
Come.
when you dive out there and say what a person can and cannot do, you better have that shit right. So this is what you said. You said it was in the last paragraph what you read. You didn't say your last statement. Okay. You said what I read. That's exactly what you said. Okay. Now, if I move up again, it says you started off with this, right? Running joke in the community. Unc can't read. Okay, bet you doing a shot.
This sensitive Negro.
Now,
This
yeah,
sensitive
hold on,
Negro.
bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you though.
What the fuck you trying to do?
No, I'm not yelling at you. Hold on. I'm not yelling at you, bro. I'm not yelling at you now. Okay. So now you being disrespectful.
Well, I can't come up here and have a conversation.
Yeah, you don't want to have a conversation, Snoop Peas. You just want to cuss me out, bro.
Yeah.
Right? See, so you know why he loud now, right? Because he just wrong. Because I got him.
Got him.
Because I got him. See?
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to finish. I know you got him. Context is king.
See what I'm saying, Snoop Peas? You don't got yelling scream.
I'm not yelling. Show me where you got me.
You there? I'm just saying, bro. You just was wrong, and that's okay. You don't got yelling scream at me, though, bro.
It's your statement. It's based on your statement.
It's not based on. Hold on. Okay. So if I can't, hold on, yo, listen. So if I can't read based off a statement, what material was you talking about that I can't read off of? So if I can't read, and you say it's based off a statement, based off your next statement was this, 2Bs. It said the bacteria was present in Europe before the Americas. Okay, that's not in what I was reading.
No,
Okay. Boom. Hold on. And I say where? This man said it was the last paragraph on what you read. Cedric read the last paragraph. I read the paragraph before that. None of that said that. Okay. Then it say pull it back up again. And we pulled it back up. And we did all syphilis. It's the bacteria, not a virus. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what the mission is right now. What you did, what I do realize is now, Stu Peas, what I didn't know before, now I know you got it from me. Now I know you got an itch for me, bro. I'm gonna say what I didn't know before about Stu Peas. Now I know the nigga got an itch for me. So now I got my eye on you, bro. I thought you was cool.
Yeah,
but I ain't seeing you around, right? And when niggas don't be around, that's because it was something I said that offended them. So I don't know what it was that offended you that made you first thing come on your mouth talking about what I cannot do, bro. But right now, yo, you don't know what the hell you talked about.
The only discard you and I have would be a conflict is when you were the one who said that Africans and Americans are the only black people in the world. That's the only discard that may have. I will question that because I know that was the most stupidest statement in the world anybody could make. Remember when he was running with that? Said the only black people are African Americans. Do you remember when you were running with that?
What they got to do with this conversation?
I understand what I'm saying. I don't agree with him, and I'm correcting him. I'm telling him it wasn't a thing. You got to be emotional about that. No, we're gonna stay right here and prove how wrong you is, Stu Peas. No, we're not gonna talk over each other.
No. That's the first time.
Slow
Him
down.
running with
Slow down.
misinformation.
Please.
No, he's running with this. Let me speak, please, and then I shut up. Let me
So
speak and then I shut
please.
up.
Your whole
No,
point
Hey,
was the
we're not going to
statement
talk
that
about it.
Ankh made, right, was incorrect. What Ankh
No,
was
no, man, I wasn't fucking incorrect because I pulled up the article. The article is called "The Black People." May I do this again, bro?
see, you're still holding on to something that wrong. Let me I can have a conversation with you.
And
Remember,
I'm
we just went on to unbiased and
gonna
tried to say unbiased is wrong
I'm
for
gonna
being.
I'm
You
listening.
guys, hold on, take one. You're
So
old, though.
you must be. You know what? I don't know why he fall off.
Yeah,
Why?
I check the show, yo.
So
God damn.
so he like a tether or something? Is that what they be calling a tether?
Yeah, that's the tether right there. Hang around in our spaces and talk bad about us at the same time.
he did some weird stuff. Okay, I
Somebody
understand.
kick him off. Did somebody get on this thing?
Why Ankh
Man,
says, I
Yeah,
understand
why
why
kick that
Ankh
man
made that
off.
statement, right? African Americans indeed chose the identity
Wait
as
a minute. Hold on. Let me say this, man. When I say, hold on, let's get this. Look, listen. Come on, man. You know how we talk, right?
yeah,
Hold on. Wait. So I've always had a source called the Black People, and it names several people that are considered black in the world. Am I correct? Y'all remember that, right?
yeah.
So I'm never going to read the source and go against the source. Think about that. Think about this. Think about who you talking to, right? So then when I say the black, I said African Americans only are the only real black people. Now, is it hyperbole? Yes. But when I say we the only real black, we the ones that embrace that. And like as a coach, we say, yeah, that's all I meant, yo.
Black and I'm proud.
We the one trying to make the Egyptians black, yo. In Northeast Africa.
Yeah.
People in Northeast Africa wasn't called the Negroes. People in
No,
Western Sudan, they called Negroes.
yeah.
That's a replied name. That's what I meant by that. Like, what the? See, and I didn't even know he. So, right, bro. So he don't like me because of that?
Yeah, he been mad at you for 2 years.
The end of 2 years about a state.
But I don't need him to like me or dislike me. What he should never do is holler and scream. We spoke, listen, it's great content, right? We all want to level up. We don't want to holler and scream, right? I'm going to let you get it in, but stop yelling at me, nigga.
Yeah, the yelling, the emotional
Yeah,
stuff.
but you don't gotta do that, bro. Get your point. We could have talked just like this. I could have said, yo, what I was actually saying that black people was in America the ones that really, covered being black. And then you have a sporadic people in different areas will claim it, just like sporadic people will claim hip hop, but hip hop, that ain't the origin of hip hop. It's right here in America.
Yeah, but blackness, I think it's a diaspora thing overall because there's other groups that identify as being black or Negro that ain't African American. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to bring it right back to the subject though. When Ankh was making that statement, he was clarifying and addressing it how a scientist would talk, not in absolutes, right?
Yeah,
That was all that Ankh did. He did not speak in absolutes when he made that statement, which was a scientifically accurate way to make any statement. Never in absolutes, although the preponderance of the evidence points in one direction. Science doesn't speak in absolutes. So I do not understand anything about the point Stu Pease was trying to make. That I'm gonna stay right there. Because when Ankh made the statement after reading the article, all he did was make it in a scientifically accurate way, making sure that we never talk in absolutes, addressing the whole discussion of apostle. So explain to me where you misspoke, the statement was incorrect, or that you can't read. I'm stuck there.
That's what I wanted to talk about, though. What's going on, man?
I was gonna. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good. We hear you, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and to add into what Cedric's saying, given the context of the conversation, that's what I'm. In our conversation earlier, that's what I'm
Right.
trying to learn how to do: articulate the information without falling into the trap or even leading myself into speaking into absolutes.
Right.
And that's what I was trying to get. It was a lot going on when on Apostles show. I was trying to get understanding where the starting points were, and things kind of went left, and I left anyways. But yeah, we're here now. I think I understand how we got here now. to
Yep.
just to everything. So all right,
Yeah. So
it's like
Apostle here, go ahead. No, go ahead, Malik.
no that you know.
So yeah, I'm trying to get Apostle to see that the evidence leads us towards America more so than Europe. Europe was always on the table in the whole conversation, right? That never was off the table. His bias against white people won't allow him to see it because in his mind, he feel like the rest of the world was feeling. That's why they was blaming each other. Gullah said it. They was blaming each other back and forth because they feel like a sexually transmitted disease make your community filthy or dirty or something like that, right? We get it. So we understand why Apostle fight like that. But what we can't understand is how he read a source and not comprehending it is what we really talking about. At no point was the source supposed to say absolutely that. I never said that. I just simply said, right, that because I was talking about the Columbia Exchange, right? And Europeans brought that from America there. So he want me to say, well, the consensus said, man, I ain't had to do all that on that show right there. I simply brought the sources up, and the sources told him just that. It explained to him the measure of how far it was leaning here and how far it was leaning there. It talked about the origin. It talked about the recorded cases. So if you can read the recorded case and then look at the origins and that type of information, then you can clearly see that it was evidence on both sides, right? Like you're supposed to be able to read that and see that. That's not an issue right there. That's not an issue right there. But then you got to see what's making more sense. The genome mapped out. What's falling? That's how that's. I can't make that man see that. His own Bible don't even give him that much evidence for nothing at no time. That is crazy. Yeah, I can't. I don't know why you in there. You gotta connect your microphone, Sosa. He's stuck. Okay, all right, there you go. All right, what's going on, Sosa?
Ain't much. What up, everybody? I'm just pulling up. I see it going down. I'm like, shit,
what happened? Hey, Liddy, for no reason. You can't read.
Arguing about syphilis. There's somebody. I'm like, what is somebody about the black thing? I was so lost. I'm like, man, what is going on? Is he mad about the disease and the reading part, or the black commenter? Like, I missed
black is the disease.
I think he was trying to. Speaking of Apostle, I think he was trying to make an argument that his whole point was he was trying to talk about where if the origins in America that it had to originate from somewhere else. That's what I was trying to get. I think Joel was trying to slow it down, but we weren't able to get there, and I cut out and I left. But I think that's where Apostle stands. What he was trying to say.
I was stupid. I don't know why I was stupid.
You talking about Stu Pease now? You talking about Stu Pease, the guy that just came in here?
Yeah, I'm still
the fake teller. He ain't even raised the fake.
Yeah, Stu Pease was always a supporter, always helping to promote scientific literacy. And I mean, I'm not going back to the other conversation because his whole point is that somehow what Ankh presented or what we presented here tonight is evidence of some miscommunication. Ankh can't read. I'm trying to figure that out because everything that we were saying was on point. So I'm confused as to the point he was trying to make overall.
I get his point. I do get his point. His point is stop saying it came from America when the scientists ain't saying that. That's his whole point. Well, then stop reading the Bible. Because your Bible ain't clear about nothing at no time. Do that for me.
Rules apply to the Bible, though.
Huh?
Different rules apply to the Bible.
No, it can't. Not when you talking to me like that, loud and crazy. It can't be a different rule. Yeah, I want to see video footage of Moses splitting the Red Sea, bro. I want to see the video footage of this happening. Come on, man. Like you, especially when you tough and you got me out my mind. We about to fight. 70 and 58 about to fight. About to square off. Imagine that. Come on, man. No, sir, man. Nope. Yeah, he mad about the black conversation.
Yeah, the bus grape conversation. That was crazy. Now we have the bus and grapes.
Because my opinion was that the only black people is in America. Like last time I checked it, we the only ones that was really we black and our First of all, why would you hold on, let's establish something here. There is no black continent. There is no black country. There is no geography that would say that would connect you back to a black anything. Let's establish that. So anybody calling themselves black, right? It's not associated with any landmass in particular. Okay, no country, no culture, right? The only culture that black would actually be attached to for real by the people would be in America, because we turned the tables and said we black and we proud, and it spread to other parts of the world. But if you're in Ghana, you're a Ghanaian. If you're in America, you black and you proud. That's the point I was trying to make, bro. That's the only point I was trying, and he can't see that. I wouldn't care if you was in Ghana and seeing some teenagers talking about we black. Okay, bro, because you under the influence of colonialism too. Because you know where you come from. Because you right here where you come from. Oh man, yo.
And the only addition like I made to that is I say, Ankh, you're absolutely right. But here in the Caribbean, because of the same circumstances, we call ourselves black or Afro-Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
That was it. So there was no further. You said was in proper context. A Nigerian who knows what tribe he is from is not going to quote unquote identify himself black, right, in his own environment. He would do that in a Western setting for the ease of conversation. But outside of that, that statement isn't incorrect.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a diasporic thing, because even in Latin America, Afro-Latinos consider themselves negro, moreno. Same thing as black. You know what I'm saying? In Colombia, they say negro, negrita, negrito, you know what I'm saying? Same.
I would throw one exception.
Yeah, but and that to harbor such energy, that would be Haiti. To harbor such energy over a statement.
Well, you feel like you take.
Listen, I would throw one exception into the black thing, and that would be Haiti. Haiti.
That'd be what?
Haiti's first, probably like in the 1800s. Like it's in their constitution. Like you can even be white and be black.
Oh man.
Like they labeled, like they define themselves as black, like as a, you know what I'm saying?
And you can be white and be black.
It ain't just Haiti. Like
that mean you ain't talking about what we talking about though. You see,
that's different, but yeah, that's what. So people understand that caveat is there, but it's a little different. But you can be European and be black, so it's a different kind of black.
Yeah, like Cuba got a census, like, you know what I'm saying. If you Afro Cubano, you negro, you black. You know what I'm saying. If you that's my grandpa said, you black person, Latino second, you black. You know what I'm saying. If you Afro Colombian, they legally are negro, they legally are black people. They identify as black and they proud of it too.
No, I'm saying the Haitians put it in their constitution.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. Well, fellas, I gotta bounce, man.
Yeah, you over your line.
You lose.
You over your line, bro.
Yeah.
And then some.
We was on this other. We threw us off the subject.
I know, man. That's what I say. Hijack the show. Anyway, good job. All right, fellas.
I just get tired of hearing that, though. All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, later.
Just get tired of hearing that, man. You know, then we read it and realize that you can't read that. Just get tired of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Get out of here, bro.
That's a very disrespectful thing to say, right? There are certain words that don't roll off the tongue easy. It takes years of practice. If I write down acetyl salicylic acid, most people won't be able to pronounce that. That's years of practice to get that up. Right? Yeah, I just said aspirin in its chemical format.
Oh, wow.
Acid, right? But if you see that word written down, it's going to take you years of practice to get it out. So even when I'm doing certain presentation, there are words that are not easily within the nomenclature that you stumble over because you don't use them every day. That isn't an indication of inability to read. That's maybe an articulation or a pronunciation issue. But what we are seeing in this community, those that can articulate most eloquently, those that has the most cadence in their speech, have no comprehension of the words that are in front of them. And that's a significant problem rather than be able to articulate a word eloquently.
Yeah, interesting. And yeah, and you're right. I'm the expert. Yeah, FBA is built on a false ethnogenesis. Absolutely. Yeah.
Pseudo ethnogenesis.
Pseudo ethnogenesis.
That's not false at this
You gotta-
point
you gotta
anymore.
stop
It's
that.
pseudo.
Can I ask a question real quick?
What'd you
Different
say,
days.
Sosa?
Go ahead.
Can we cover exactly the what an ethnogenesis is? Real quick, if y'all don't mind, real quick. I like to get caught up on the
Ethno,
term
like
so I can
ethnic.
follow.
Ethno, like the F, like a F. It's like the origin of it, like an ethnic group, the genesis of an ethnic group, and so in America, the ethnogenesis for African Americans would be enslaved Africans, Europeans, and a small percentage of Native Americans. All right, come together to form what we later will call African Americans. All right, and which is the foundation. Part of, I like to say, part of the foundation of the Americas. And that's what it is. But the FBA claims that the ethnogenesis is, quote unquote, I can go right to the source itself. All right. And it's not hard. And they're all stumbling and stammering and act like that ain't what it is and all that. But it's right here in the documentation. You know, documentation beats, everything. And the documentation right here, all right, is clear. And let me see. Let me see if I can move it up right here. Okay, so right here, there's a flag. Watch this flag.
You see, FBA wrong will pull up.
Yeah, it's flag. Look, it's a flag. Look, it say FBA flag. It don't say.
You know, I said it too many times. I'll keep it a pull up. God,
Yeah, it's a flag though, right? It say FBA flag. It don't say Tariq Nasheed flag. Do it? It don't say personal nothing. It say FBA flag.
You know, alert go out when you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get them.
What does the flag represent? Let's slow it down.
We ain't get there yet. Wait till we get there. I'm gonna let you rock. It say foundational Black Americans. FBA flag meaning. So they're gonna give us a meaning. Oh shit.
Yeah, went back to the beginning.
Is it got Indians on here? I didn't.
Yeah, they're supposed to be black though.
Wait a minute, yo, they got the Indians on here, yo. I didn't know they had the Indians. Hey, yo, listen, I didn't know that. I'm not gonna let them get away with this one. They got an Indian section, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad.
One is on the left. Is that supposed to be like?
Supposed to be, I guess supposed to be like free people of color, but the people on the left could be the same people in the middle if they get money. You know,
no, these are the explorers.
It's crazy.
Oh man,
the black fella because he got the Indian, he got the slave, then he got the other one, the well-dressed one. Like, I don't know.
All right. So listen. So here's the flag, and on the flag, it got 3 stars, and you would ask yourself, what is the symbolic meaning of the stars? Do I got that correct? Cedric, am I saying this right?
Yes.
Right. I want to make sure I'm saying this right, yo.
Let me ask Stupid before she get crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I got all this right. So it says, we know that stars can be representative of ideas. Okay?
Excuse me. Just want to let you know I'm gonna slide off for like 10 minutes real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, do your thing. All right. So we understand that stars are representative of ideas. This is why you would put it on there as a symbolic representation. The stars represent something. There's no arguing about that, is it? Will we ever argue over that? Sosa, argue over that, Sosa?
No.
Okay, you scamming me if you argue with me over that.
See, that fist also has a symbolic meaning. Just saying.
And the Greek, what's this? That's definitely Greek, ain't it? The things right there. That's
Yeah,
Greek, right?
the black fist meets the Greek delta.
What's the we're gonna add something to the flag. We tired of y'all missing out on these things on the left and the right. What is it called?
The figs.
Figs, right?
Yeah. The Athenian figs from
Is that what they wear around their head? Ain't that what the Greeks wear around their head, yo, or something?
Yeah, that's a sign of the Olympian
All right, we're gonna help them out.
born by the Greek.
All right, we're gonna help. We're gonna add some more. We got the black fist in between the Greeks.
Black Greeks, though. There's some black
Greeks.
See, symbolic fist. Symbolic, right?
Okay.
The fist represents something. So it's not an actual fist. It's symbolic of. Just for clarity, right?
Okay, now watch this. Now, it's going to explain what the 3 stars are, right? The 3 stars. Now, watch this. It says represents the 3 groups. And now they say 3 groups, so they're talking about real people now. 3 groups, watch this, who make up the ethnic group that would become foundational Black Americans. That's what the 3 stars represent. They represent the 3 groups who will make up the ethnic group that will become the foundational Black Americans. Go ahead. Somebody was going to say something.
So this is a clear indication that we are talking about an ethnogenesis. The admixture of these 3 different groups, different populations, come together to form what is later known as the foundational Black Americans. There's no way to get around this component. This is identifying what an FBA is and made up out of.
I know, damn. You were saying, go ahead, Sosa.
No. I said that's what I said. I said that's the ethnogenesis right there.
Okay, so we're not gonna say that's the flag. That's the flag. Yeah, so we ain't gonna house because it's the flag. Now, what is the 3 groups? Right here. There's the star beside it for each star. The Black Aboriginal people of North America. I don't know who the hell that is.
That's the dude that was on the right in the photo.
Okay, let's see. It's got to be here. Hold on. They had to be talking about these right here.
Yeah.
Which one?
On the right, all of them.
Which one though? Is it the one in the middle or all of them?
All of them. That'd be all of them. They all Black.
This is what we're not doing. You are not showing me a picture of some damn Indians, yo. This is what we not doing, yo.
Yo,
is this a collective of all the open tribes?
We're not never doing this, bro. Hold on. I don't know. Let's go back to it.
We'll go to the second one. The second one wild too.
All right, hold on. Let me finish this. Now, the next star, that must be one in the middle. The Black explorers, traders who had contact with Americans before, what traders, yo? How many?
Go back to the picture. Go back to the picture.
He trying to explain the Latinos, but them
Gullah, stop that, Gullah.
Go back to the picture. Go back.
I'm saying, like, if he talking about the people that came with Columbus, them Latinos.
He said before Columbus.
Before.
Okay.
Yeah, before. Here's the word before.
So go back to the
Black explorers. I don't know who they are. Maybe talking about
that's the Hawker Band and the Moors.
The people up there with the suits on. The people with the suits on up there, yo.
He means Mansa Musa and the Olmec.
I was walking him.
The Muslim. And the last one is the captives brought to the Western Hemisphere from Africa. And then he goes on to say what the fist mean. The fist represents the non-stop fight for foundational Black Americans engaged. So he ain't talking about himself. Then the olive branch represents historical what? What? Man, damn, the shit's the shift, man. Camaraderie. Is that, camaraderie and peace between black-skinned Aboriginal and the Black Cap. Man, that's a, man, the Buffalo Soldiers would shoot, they would stop it. The camaraderie between the black-skinned Aboriginal and the Black Captors. Oh, they planned it all the way out.
This is a grip. This is the reason why we don't hear the Abos anymore. Because they found grounding within the FBA.
Man, this man in this grave right there to the right. Elijah Muhammad definitely on the wheel, mad as hell at this point. He's definitely on that wheel, man.
Yeah, because he like what happened to the Asiatic black man.
What the picture? Hey, Gullah, what you saying? What picture is Wilder? What you talking about?
No, I said the people with the suit, suits on must be the Mansa Musa people.
Yeah, those are the explorers.
Yeah,
on the left, y'all crazy.
Yeah, those are the Arab explorers. Yeah, the Muslim explorers.
Oh, y'all stupid, yo.
Because he got 3 stars and he got 3. That's what I'm saying.
So in the middle,
right here.
Why the slaves look worse than everybody? Yo, he got the money.
I even know what Native American tried this.
I'm at war now, yo. I'm officially at war, yo. You is not. Yo got a wild hat on. Let me blow this up. Put him in a wild hat. Hold on, yo. He put my man in a wild hat. Yo, he got him in a wild hat. Look, yo got the tilted on the side. Right there in the middle, yo. Is that a belt buckle up there? Hey, man. Hey, Tariq, yo, you wrong for that, yo. Hey, yo, you wrong. Hey, man, this is what we not doing, man. We're not doing this. Yo, nah, bro.
Let's look at the black explorers. So these
the black explorers right here. Y'all can't be serious, yo.
You gotta be. He got 3 stars. He got 3 groups up there. Aboriginal, slave. I gotta be a black explorer.
In my eyes, yo. And look, I made this bigger. Look, come on, man.
I know. Look at the brother. Look at the brother on your far right there. Look at that brother.
Oh yeah. I see a brother all the way up in the back to the left. Look, right there. That's a brother up there in the back up there. That's a brother. Right here.
Hold on, I'm gonna make it even bigger. Look, we is not doing this. This is what we not doing.
Brother up in the corner, in the left corner. That's a brother right there. That's a brother for sure. Come on.
Yeah, black. The other one, they just light skin.
Yeah, is they real outfits though? They might not even be real outfits. They're up that corner left and the left, yo.
No. Is this one tribe? Is this one of those photos for tourists? What is going on here?
Hold on, yo got a polo shirt on right there, yo. Right there. To the right.
It's a Halloween party.
Yeah. The one in the back looks like Smokey Robinson.
No, listen. He's a nigga. No, listen. The right hand and the back right. The second row. Yo got a polo shirt on, yo. Did he just make that picture? Did he Photoshop? What is we doing? All right, man. Let me stop, man. We got some good callers on here. I got my man on here. Just popped up on here. Let's see. What's going on, Martin? You just over here have some.
I was just curious what y'all maintaining
we was talking about syphilis and the origins of it, leaning more likely to America. There is some evidence for Europe, right? We talked about that, but the consensus is leaning more to, especially after they mapped out some ancient genomes and stuff, is leading to America. And so,
syphilis definitely started here. Definitely started here.
Yo, so now we kind of moved a little bit past that.
Wait, let me ask about that though. Let me ask. I'm just curious. I was curious.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm hearing a repeat. Hold on. I might have to have you on somewhere else. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah, I had a question though. My question is, y'all was just kind of just informing people of that. That's not something people are questioning. Y'all was just doing it to inform people.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't hear you.
Y'all did it just to inform people.
What about the FBA?
Or are people questioning that? I was just curious.
Oh, the syphilis part?
Yeah, I was just curious.
No, so sometimes conversations come in the weirdest form. So I was having a conversation on Sarnetta's, and I was talking about evolution, and I talked about the Columbian Exchange. And because I was, people was trying to act like they were Africans here already. So I was basically saying that they would have brought with them immunity.
Right.
So they wouldn't have got sick when they ran back into the Africans, right? That was the point I was making. In some kind of way, we got to the syphilis because
we just kind of broke down the origin of syphilis.
Yeah, that's how we kind of got into that. I think that.
I was just curious how y'all even got on that.
Got that, and then it blew up, and it's just crazy. But that's how we do on topics, man. Yeah. But I heard you yesterday on TFX show, right? First, when I tuned in, I cussed you out for about 2 minutes, right? Cussed you out like I always do. You know how I do, because I know that's your man, right? Cussed you out, and then I heard the conversation, and it is. I rarely hear people put it the way you put it. I know I like to put it that way, right? Yeah, you do. But I like the way you put it. And I think, was you on that? No, Sosa wasn't on that. So let's say this. So the conversation about Africans enslaving Africans. Okay. When you say the Africans enslaved Africans, I basically say, no, they didn't. People say, yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I say that because I understand that when you say African, that's a name applied to people about outsiders, and actually each group has its own name and its own identities. Absolutely. Different religions, custom, and traditions. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And so you muddy the waters when you say, so you start to think that you enslaved your brother and your sisters and your cousins. Your mind can't get out of that.
Exactly.
Right? There's no getting out of that. The reference point is so wild that you can't change it out your head.
Exactly.
Right? Christians say it all the time. Right? And you try to fight that. Now, the thing to make it bad, there's people on the other side that says we didn't participate in the slave trade at all.
Right.
We floated across the savannah. We didn't do it and all that, right? And so both sides is arguing, right? But they're arguing because of the psychological damage, right? With that statement. Can you talk about that for a minute? And then I want Sosa to kind of dive in.
No, it's all good. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, you and I have been on the same page with this for a minute. Mm-hmm. So I just, as I was saying to them last night, which Sheffram, eventually conceded to this point, because at first he was fighting me, and I would just basically say it's lazy scholarship to generalize Africa in that way, since the idea to even generalize Africa, which is the only continent that's done on, was given to us by others. And so when you study any region of the world, if you get into the real history, you're going to find that, unfortunately, enslaving others is part of the human trait per se, to a degree. Now, every group didn't do it, but I'm just saying on every continent you will find versions of enslavement. And so if you go study any other continent, you're going to read the history of which group did it, which tribe did it, which region did it. You'll read it that way. It's only in the continent of Africa where you have it's lazy scholarship to adopt that generalized term, versus, like, for example, Sheffrin, who's very well studied and very scholarly on the area, he started speaking very specific, saying this group was this group did this group, and this group. And when I said to him, I says, yeah, you should simply say that versus generalizing and saying Africans, so Africans. Because it's lazy scholarship to generalize in that way, when we know that generalization was handed to Africa with an intentional purpose. So to your point, Ankh, psychologically, as African Americans being disconnected to our history and having to on our own go back and get some level of connection, we psychologically will make a blanket statement in our head and make the mistake of saying our brother or our sister sold us, when the reality is your enemy sold you, which is what humans do.
Yeah. If we say Europeans enslaved Europeans, right, that would create a whole different scenario. But we never hear that. But we hear that the Romans enslaved the Bulgarians, they enslaved the Gauls. We hear that very distinct, right? But that would be Europeans enslaving Europeans. If we would contextualize it this way. Spartacus was from Bulgaria, right? That's a European. At this point in time, Romans have not enslaved any Africans. So we never hear within any framework of any sort of dialogue. Europeans enslaved Europeans, where we know the Gauls were enslaved, the Druids were completely wiped out, right? This is all European on European violence, if we would put it in that context. But we never do it that way, because with regards to Europe, it's never lazy scholarship.
Yeah, and this is regard to any area. Like, you're not gonna hear, like, I mean, I'm gonna use an extreme one, but a silly one. Like, listen how silly this sounds. South Americans enslaved South Americans. Like, I'm just showing you, like that's how silly and lazy it is to do that about Africa. Here's the other thing: due to our unique Black experience or African American or ADOS experience, due to it, we just don't know that agency. The people that gave us the African term are intentionally generalizing to avoid agency. So once we know that's what's being done, then we can't have the knowledge of it and still lazily speak that way. It's just a lazy way for us to speak, like, because you guys, like Ankh knows, I know American history very well. I lean into Ankh to understand various regions of Africa because he knows that stuff better than me, right? Like, we lean on each other in that way. So it'd be silly of him going to actually learn that agency and speak that way. Just like Sheffrin, who knows it very well. And we, like I said, we came to he said, I got to consider this, because he knows how to speak it via agency. So why ever generalize when you know it? I get that maybe people that are not on this, that watch this channel, or I actually understand my brother or sister that I'm just now sharing some of this information with, they're going to connect it through that language. But I won't speak it that way to them, because I'm going to start, now that I know better. I didn't always know better, but now that I know better, you know what, Maya Angelou, if you know better, you do better. So now that we know better, it becomes imperative for those of us who say we love learning this stuff, that we speak scholarly about the continent, regardless of whether you have an affinity for it or not. It's still the proper way to speak.
What about if we say many African tribes practice a form of slavery before European contact?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so we could just say it like that, and that encompasses what we're talking about.
Yeah, just you saying tribes is making a distinction. Like, you know, unfortunately, some of y'all might know some of the tribes. Again, I know Ankh knows more about the specific tribes than I know, but that's still way more accurate than just the way Europeans would have you talk about Africa. They would have you say Africans did it because they're just trying to remove their role specifically to us. Like, regardless of how, because various enslavement around the world was different. Like, probably the most brutal or violent enslavement that I've read or learned about was actually how the Arabs did the Eastern Africans. That's probably the most violent. You know what I'm saying? What's unique about our situation was we were moved from the continent and experienced chattel, which is a legal form. So that's definitely a different. So it's all these different levels or whatever. You can speak about them all accurately without generalizing in a way that makes people believe your brother sold your brother. When like when you're enslaving another person, you know, I will say.
Have you ever like there's a general mode with that how things are done, right, in the slave trade. Have you ever studied some of the slave practices within some of the tribes?
Yeah, yeah. I can't say the tribes like.
You don't have to be specific,
but I've definitely studied it. Yeah, I've definitely studied, but I don't remember the tribe per tribe stuff.
Do you understand the mode in which a person would become a slave to be sold on a auction block?
Yeah, I read that stuff. I just don't know the names specifically.
Leaving out prisoners of war within the state, like how would you become right?
Okay. It's various ways. Are you asking me to answer? Because I'll answer the ways I know. The things I've studied, I'll say. So it's various ways. Like you said, we got the prisoners of war. That's an obvious one. But some of them are varied. Now, especially at the early stages of them, in a sense, expanding the slave trade, and it changed over the years as it became
the early beginning.
Okay, in the early beginnings. So yeah, in the early beginnings, quite often tribes. So let's say you and I were in a different tribe. Here's one of the ways.
Yeah, but we're not doing prisoners of war. We're doing
Yeah. I'm not. I already said I'm about to give you a way that's not a prisoner of war per se. Okay. So, let's say you and I. These are some things I've read about. So, like if you and I were in a different tribe, sometimes it wouldn't necessarily be a war per se, but your tribe and my tribe would have a disagreement, and it might be based on some type of land situation. And not that they felt like they own land per se, but they definitely control their regions. And there will be times where the consequence was what they call, well, we use the word slave, but what that often mean, what it looked like versus, let's go, not chattel enslavement, but that early enslavement amongst a lot of the tribes, it literally was just like having a servant. Like it was literally enslavement in some of those situations was literally you just have a servant, and they would actually take care of their servants. The servants might live in the little hut. So
I'm trying to.
There was sometimes what happened between tribes. It wouldn't even be a war.
I know you want to do.
Can I?
I'm trying to get Stephen in here. Where you at, Stephen?
Let me get to this point real quick, though. I'm trying to stay within, like, if you, I don't want to do another trial. We do another trial. I'm talking about. So we do like when the Portuguese arrived, you had a kingdom.
Oh, the penal system, yo. They had a that was their penal system.
Right. So you had right. So what I'm saying is that this is
criminals
within the kingdom of Congo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have when these people, right? So those people that become, that become bond debt or whatever way they make it within that kingdom, they are the same people, correct?
What Sheffrin was teaching me was they
are.
Oh, you talking about debt? Yeah. Like you owe money. That's
okay.
Yeah. These are your people.
Okay. Debtors. Yeah, they owe money. Yeah, you owe money or you was a criminal.
In the country, in the society, criminal activity.
Right.
So within that brokerage, when time to part with slaves, you part with those people. Those are the people you're parting with.
Yeah, or you might be from the
What's your point with that, though?
In some instances, the trade was amongst their own people, meaning their own tribal people.
Okay, that's fine. Here it is, though. Let's put this in. Let's put it like there's never a point in which, in human history, in which people not giving a fuck about their criminals and they're being their own people. That's
now you're calling them. Now you're calling them.
I'm just saying to realize that that's very normal. Like Georgia the colony of Georgia was a penal colony in the States.
You're wiggling though.
I'm not wiggling. I'm just saying this is. I'm not wiggling. I'm just highlighting that. I'm agreeing that it's your own people, but I'm just saying.
That's all I'm talking about.
Here it is. You can't stop there and leave out the context that
I already gave you the context.
Treats their criminals like shit. That's very normal.
Yeah, but no. But just because you're in debt, don't mean those people are like criminals. No, sometimes they may just owe a little money. Sometimes they may be short on shit from the crops. Like it's not always like this. Ain't like every time somebody's in debt, they're a rapist or they're a murderer. That's not all.
I didn't.
Yeah. So some of them.
I didn't say nothing about it being a horrible crime.
No, you might have slept with somebody's. You might have slept with somebody's wife, or vice versa.
I gotta get the context of what you're saying, though, Sofa. So what you saying? I think you're trying to trick us somewhere in here. I can hear it.
I'm just trying to tell you that that's
what you're saying. What you saying? Let me get the context. You're saying that. And then said you can jump in, but I ain't want Stephen to disappear. Don't move.
Stephen got something going on.
He want to say he FBA all day.
I just want to say that. I just want to bring it up, but that is a.
But hold on, though. Let me make this point though. So you're basically saying. Let me get this straight. Now watch this. See, I understand times and dates and chronology. This is important. So first of all, let's take colonialism out the picture, because we know we had institutions of slavery before them. So let's talk about that first. That's how I like to lead up to it. Let's talk about the criminals Like, let's talk about the prisoners of war. You say take it off the table.
We're
Bet.
not dealing with that because we
Hold
already
on,
understand what that
hold on,
is.
but I wanted to say it though. I wanted to say it.
Yeah,
Right? So we got criminals. I want to say prisoners of war. We're not talking about them. We got people in debt that owe money.
Bond debt. Yeah.
Bond debt, right? Servants, workers, all that.
Or they may have.
So hold on.
Maybe
That's
like
the criminals. That's the criminal act in that society. Adultery is considered a criminal act.
But that's muddy.
No, it's not muddy. What you mean, bro? You can't have two wives. Bro,
like murderer now. We don't want to mix up.
No, bro. Nah, we gotta go back there.
But I see exactly what you're doing. So what you're doing.
Hold on, let me finish though, Monty. Let me finish this.
My bad.
So at this point in history, you saying they sold their own people? You saying they gave those slaves to other tribes? That's what you mean?
Because that's what didn't happen. That's what I wanted to go.
Yes,
that's not what happened.
All right, hold on. So they gave them.
I'm not saying that. That's what.
No, I got you.
So if that doesn't happen, then your point.
So hold on. So who? So they gave the criminals. You always trying to get rid of criminals. You always trying to get rid of criminals. So that's nothing. Take the criminals out. So you saying people that was working in households.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
People took them and gave them to other tribes to work in households. That was kind of like an agreement between them. Maybe that's what you're kind of saying, right?
That could be, depends on what the situation is, because there's an inner African trade.
No, we ain't talking about the Muslims right now. No, we ain't go that far.
I said inner Africa, talking about just I ain't talking about the Muslims. But just within Africans themselves.
Yeah, if you say the inner African trade, now you're talking about the Muslims.
No, I'm not talking about the trans-Saharan trade. I'm saying there's an inner African trade in which Africans are trading with each other. They take their people to the other people in Africa. This is separate from Islamic. It's not trans-Saharan. It's inner Africa.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
But that's all I'm saying. We'll get to it another time. But it's like,
yeah. I need that. I need that.
You just need to hang on to the African context. Sophus can't let it go. It's all good.
Go ahead, Montoya, and then
you just can't let it go, because here it is. You're absolutely right, Sosa. Like, I'm not like I want to be real clear that I am acknowledging fully that that the inner debt type of enslavement was their own people. I do want to acknowledge that fully. So I'm not dancing at all. I don't dance, bro. So I definitely respect what you're saying. However, when you say it could be like Ankh, right, when you start getting into the timeline, when you get into the actual timeline, then you would have to say which groups were they handing over to another group. And then that's when you're going to see
eventually all of them, Montoya. Eventually all of them.
No, you can't say eventually all of them. That's
not.
Yes.
No,
you have to
I'm
use
not saying it, Montoya.
Monk's correctly right.
No,
you have to
I'm not saying it.
Of what was happening at the time.
Yeah, don't think it's me saying it. I'm not saying it. This is what the sources say. Eventually, all of them will ship out.
Eventually, all of them. What's all of them mean to you? I want to make sure I'm following. I just want to make sure.
Let's just say I don't want to be absolute. Say every single one, but majority of all of them will ship out.
I want to know what you now explain. All I'm not trying to trick you. I'm trying to understand. When you say all of them, what do you mean by all of them? I'm not saying you're being absolute. I'm not trying to push it to absolute.
Most.
Overwhelming majority. What? Most of what? What's them? Most of
the
what?
People that were the people that were in debt, because those are the people that reached slave status.
So, right? So you're saying that by the and we're talking about we're still going now. We're going up to when they started interacting with the other groups, and you're saying that was the majority of who was being given at the time, based on what you've studied.
Yes, outside of prisoners of war. Yes.
But you keep saying outside, but you say so. You know what? If they were the most, I'm just saying if they were the most that were given. Then why even give the qualifier outside?
No. I said most of the people. I'm talking about when I said most. I'm talking about most people that were because they may not give away every slave they have.
I'm not. So
when I say most,
I'm not saying every.
Listen. Just listen to what I'm saying. So when I say most, I'm not saying that this is the most. That's how it was done. The most in totality. The most.
I'm not going to put you in the extreme. So what? The most of what? Then the most of what? I thought. Are you saying?
I'm saying
they were more than the prisoners
if we have
of war.
A group of apples,
when you say most,
right? Most of the apples were given to that particular thing. right? If bond debt and that type of slavery are apples and POWs are oranges, I'm saying
right. So I'm saying that's what I'm asking. So I
trying to give them up, they gave away most of the apples.
Are you saying that those were more than the prisoners of war? That's all if that's what you meant by most. That's what I asked you.
I don't know the exact. I wouldn't know the numbers because
no, I'm not asking for the number. Dog. I'm just saying. I think you're telling me.
Hey, dancing a little bit.
They were the most.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not going to jump in there and say, yeah, that's the most.
Well, you said most. I'm trying to understand what you mean by most. Then I'm trying to.
Listen,
you use the word.
My most apply to. I'm trying to give you the example so you can understand what I'm saying. If POWs are oranges, right, and then dead people are apples, right, and the slave rating are grapes. When I say most, I'm just saying that they gave up most of their apples, right? I'm not saying that was the most fruit they gave up in totality. I'm saying they gave up most of their apples when it was time to get rid of slaves. They gave up most of their apples. That's what I'm saying. If I don't know if I can put it.
I don't know if you should use most.
You're confusing that with the most.
Yeah, you gotta go get.
Like you're using most and saying it's not the most. So
yeah,
confusing it.
Go ahead. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Hey, Cedric, you wanted to say something, Cedric? Where you at? Where you at, Cedric? Where you at?
I was trying to say something real quick, but
Cedric was next.
My bad, Sid.
The most. He don't mean the most. He mean the most out of the apples and the oranges.
We wouldn't talk about, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't talk about.
But why would they take the debt? Why would they take the? Hold on, let me get this straight, yo. That doesn't even make no sense, yo. If you got the apples is the prisons of. No, you said the apples was the what, yo?
There's your people,
the people in debt, and then the oranges was the what?
Prisoners of war.
POW.
Wow. So why would you give away? You would give away the prisoners of war more than you would give away the people in debt, bro. That don't even make no sense. Why would you give away people?
Depends on how many POWs you prisoner of war you have. You got to think how many prisoners of war you gonna have sitting around a POW sitting at your kingdom, bro.
No, I got you.
What happens is when the slave trade ramps up and it becomes an industry. They just go get motherfuckers that ain't them.
They don't care.
Even a prisoner of war at that point. It's just go get a motherfucker and walk them to the
you're moving forward.
They just go get motherfuckers. They ain't even a prisoner of war.
You're jumping further in time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We're talking about when a port when they arrived,
right?
Nuanced.
Yeah.
You think they got 10,000 POWs sitting around?
I ain't got 10,000 servants sitting around neither, depending on the kingdom side.
He's right about the early part. So
and it's more safer.
I remember reading some of what he's talking about.
You think because of a raiding party comes, and they just say, you know what I'm
saying? No, he's right about the early part. So during the early, this is what I remember reading. So obviously we got to put all our information together. But I do remember reading some of what Sosa's talking about in the early stages, and I can't put a time period on this. But I do remember in the beginning of the enslavement trade, Sosa's right that it would be debtors, and at that time, it was just and Sosa, did you also read this? Because it was the word was translated, and they just assumed it was the same enslavement that they had themselves. That's servant. So in the early beginnings, you're right that a lot of servants were passed into enslavement. It was from the lack of understanding the type of enslavement they were sending them to. And eventually, obviously that changed. And then you end up, once it became an industry, you got certain tribes that became super intentional because they could make money. And they also needed money to fight against the people that were their enemies.
Right. And so then you get the laws.
I definitely remember you're right. In the early beginnings, it did start out.
And then you get the laws within the kingdom becoming more stricter to get people into the prisoner pipeline system. You feel me? They increase charges in people, whether it's witchcraft, to get
to in order to enslave them. I got you.
We got Cedric, then we got Gullah. Go ahead, Cedric, then Gullah, then Stephen.
Yeah, the whole conversation again is nuanced. And going back to your original point, Montoya, the laziness or the lack of actual scholarship when we get into this conversation. First of all, slavery is endemic to human society. It is the advance of technology which led to the decreased need in human capital, right? So it was a modus operandi around the world, and it was endemic to most civilizations. You can understand that point you're making, which I agree to. My initial contact with you, and you say you got slaves, you got captives. If you say that, I'm taking it within the same context. I'm trading these people within the same context. Hey, they're gonna hold them. They're gonna stay there a couple of years. They're worth so much. This worth is about 3-4 years, and then they're free, right? It's with the later development, and then again, to Sosa's point and to Ank's point, when they stifle the trade routes, when they make it in such a way that this becomes an economic pillar, when you have Europeans fueling arms races on both sides of the fence, when you got these disruption now to facilitate that industry, you are going to get tribes that are opportunists. So yes, we're going to increase warfare. We're going to use arbitrary reasons to go and get captives. All of this, mind you, with an emphasis on, if I don't get these slaves, my people are going to get attacked, or it is going to become a political conflict for our people. That's why when we study in Zinga, for example, there are two sides of this feeling. We study her as a chess player and a global leader, whereas from an African American perspective, you can say, well, she was instrumental in the slave trade, right? So that's the nuance that needs to be had in this conversation. Equally so to when we discuss Roman expansion, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're doing, Sosa, what you're doing is adding, and it's fair and it's beautiful. But if you could just also still don't lean into the overall laziness of what we're the original premise because of this, because you are right that they did their own people. So I'm not taking nothing away from that. But the nuance that Cedric just said is that's how we should be talking about it. Like what you brought to the table is absolutely fair, because then when it becomes an economic thing and it becomes a driven industry, that is how the majority of enslaved people were removed from Africa. So in the early years, you can see the ramp up of the enslavement. So the ramp up, like for African Americans, it becomes lazy because we're going to assume the time we're going to assume the time, whereas you're able to say specifically, like you said, the sources. And like I said, when you kept saying it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I do remember reading what you're saying. So I can agree to that. So it shouldn't make us lean into, in my opinion, I'll say my opinion. Let me give my opinion on this. I don't think it should lean into us leaning into that statement when we know the majority of those who were pulled out once it became an industry came at that time when it was literally going to get a whole nother group, or like the brother Cedric just said, how in Zinga, again, it was the MO of the area anyway. And so she strategically imparted to protect her people. And again, this is not me saving an African American, like trying to save face for Africa. It's just, you see this in all continents. Like once somebody decides you're not us, they're going to go over the top to make sure they protect us. But you're right. In the early beginnings, they were giving away their own people. I don't mind saying that.
I want to say too, like that's my thing. I like going to the complexity of things and the nuances of things. And plus, like when you say it's the same people, when you take out of the, saying the transatlantic or the, saying the Europeans or the Arabics or whatever, you had incidents where tribes had same people had civil war. You know what I'm saying? You might have different clans. They the same people, might be different clans, or you might even have a subservient clan that always been subservient to the bigger, more successful clan. You know what I'm saying? And also too, outside of like the debt and like that, you had sometimes, like even when you have a famine, you have famine in West Africa, and sometimes people even rent out their children or their family members to another, group or clan or something like that too.
Yeah. You at the end of the day, the best of humans and the worst of humans, you're gonna find it damn near on every continent, because this is just humans respond to.
That's the point, Montoya.
We just like our cousin. We just like our chimp cousin, yo. Like you know what I'm saying? Chimps. You know what I'm saying? They go off tribal war. It's all tribalism.
They went to chimps. All right, let's get the homie on air. I mean, Stephen, the home. What's up, Stephen?
That the homie, Stephen?
Stephen?
Yes, sir. It's Stefan. What's good with y'all?
Be good, Stefan.
Is he the homie Steph or another Steph? Though we got the homie Steph.
No, that ain't that's Steph. Go ahead. I said he's the homie. Go ahead.
No, I am the homie Steph.
I thought you was. That is the homie.
From the chat, the homie Steph?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
My name just Stefan though.
Right,
yeah, you messed up. You gotta keep your same name to make sure you stay in the episode. We don't trick you.
What's good with y'all
though? What's up? So it's the FBA. You FBA?
Yeah, I think it's I think he
bring the flag up.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you already. I
flag
think you already.
I gotta bring the flag up. Can't let you get away with it.
But look, I think you already agreed that
I give it the definition.
No. I think you already agreed that people have the right to identify themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so me specifically, I agree with
what?
Like the basis of
right here.
No, I ain't talking about that.
It gotta be.
I ain't talking about. All right, let me ask you this. Right? Let me ask you this. All right. How you think your conversation with Ron went the other day?
Beat the shit out of him.
No, I think y'all had a good back and I watched the whole thing. Nigga. I think y'all had a good back and forth.
No, nigga, the nigga wouldn't answer the question, yo.
But let him finish though, so you can hear what he thought. It'll be good for you.
I don't care what he thought. He know that nigga ain't answer the question. Hell no.
You don't agree with you, fuck him, huh? That's how you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they know he's cheating.
I got you back on this motherfucker, bro.
They know he's cheating because everybody heard the nigga didn't answer the question for 3 hours.
But still, let him tell you what he heard, though. You still be about to hear what another person heard versus what you think they should.
Man, because he hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna let him say it. Well, my point is, listen.
You say you disagree before he said though.
No, because I'm trying to say, because the nigga was so good at not answering the question, he got me to start talking about some other shit. So I know
he's let's hear what my brother heard. So
Go ahead, man.
I mean, look, listen, I don't know what question you saying in particular. Like,
we pulled up the website. If you've seen it, you've seen us pull up the website, yo.
Okay, yeah. No, but So no, he did. I think. Well, to me, he answered the question in the way that, like, how I kind of agree with the designation, right? Like, you can agree. A person can agree with somebody's somebody's basis of, of like or a thesis or whatever, right? Like how Tariq basically defines foundational Black American in terms of the 3 stars.
He's on the screen.
Yeah, it's right.
I don't want to. We did this last time.
No.
I don't care about that damn
raid. Just like raid to them, Monty. You see what he's starting already?
I don't care about that
definition on the screen. I don't want to look at his own definition.
I just want to know what his ethnogenesis was. What is his ethnicity?
I'm Homo sapien, but I don't agree.
Man,
I don't agree with Charles Darwin.
Man, let him go. Come on.
With y'all, I really do want to just chop it, but
go ahead.
So,
but it's on the screen though. But go ahead.
Well, that's Tariq's. But I don't know nothing.
Listen, it's the foundational Black Americans, yo.
I'm not speaking for Tariq. You know what I mean? So that's y'all. That's you that keep bringing up Tariq's page. I don't want to. I don't care about all that. I don't care about all that.
It's a different one, Stephen. Explain it. Go ahead.
No. What? As far as a website, no, I don't want to talk about that.
No.
But anyway,
he's asking you what definition are you using if it's not this one? That's what he's asking.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about that. But anyway,
I'm just saying, you said you agree with the dude's definition. They give you the definition. So which definition are you agreeing with? Like, that's a fair question to you. You said I agree with that man's definition. So what definition are you using?
I'm not talking about any definition. I'm talking about what's defined as a foundational Black American.
Yes. So what's your definition?
No, hold on. Let him go.
Bro.
Go ahead.
Y'all.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
I think y'all are fixated on this website and these 3 tenets, and I'm not talking about
so you said what's defined? Okay, let's do it your way. So
what I've heard you agree to is that, like, okay, I'll use African American for you in this conversation.
No, you can use FBA.
All right. But you know what I'm talking about then. So,
yeah, go ahead. The definition. What is stand?
What you have agreed to foundational Black Americans being ethnically wise is that we are a combination or an amalgamation of we have what I'm not getting into the Black Indian. I told you the last time we talked, I don't even agree to that.
Yeah, see, we just want to hear what you agree to so we can understand how you define it.
Hey, bro. Listen, man. I can speak for myself. I don't need you to keep jumping in, big dog.
All right, go ahead, bro.
But because you keep throwing me off every time I try to answer this shit.
You just started telling us what you didn't agree with. I don't want to hear how you define it.
Right. Well, I'm chopping it with Ankh real quick.
My bad.
But so you agree that African Americans or foundational Black Americans are we are mixed race of people, right?
No, as an ethno,
or not mixed race, but ethnic, ethnically.
Yeah, three groups come together to form African Americans.
Right. And my thing is, it's the same as what you like to identify as African American. I simply agree with the newer designation of foundational Black American. Why? Because I feel like he just, if we're gonna talk about Tariq and make it about him creating coming up with the name or the term or whatever, then it's because I feel like he capitalized on a void within the country, that he's seen that there was a influx of various black immigrants coming into the community, right, or to the country. And so because of that, and because there have been multiple instances of melanated peoples, Caribbeans, wherever they from, right, speaking on behalf of African Americans or foundational Black Americans, but very, very contrary, right? So you got people in certain positions speaking for foundational Black Americans as if they are. And so because of that, the whole delineation movement came about from that. And that's the whole designation. Is there's a larger influx of melanated people coming into the country, and he felt like, and I agreed to that.
Who felt like?
Tariq.
I thought you wasn't listening to him. I thought you had something totally different. You can't. I
didn't.
It?
I said I didn't need it. I didn't want to keep talking about the website.
I'm not talking about the website. I'm talking about what you're talking about. The website is a guide. And I'm saying the information that you want to bring don't match up with the person who you're now talking about that felt the need to fill a niche. He filled it.
So I have to agree with. Everything.
No, you would have to agree. No, listen. You do not have to agree with everything he put forth. But one thing that y'all got to agree with is the actual foundation that crystallized that would make you call yourself FBA. If you can't agree on the foundation, then you actually have nothing. Y'all can't have different foundations and think it's the same thing. Like, for instance, if I give you the definition of what a fish is, right? And we all agree what a fish is, and then you go get me a whale, you just broke the whole thing up. Because a whale not a fish. So if I agree, and you know I agree with FBA, they are the foundational Black Americans, meaning they was enslaved in America, and they mixed with Europeans and some Native Americans. I agree with that definition, bro.
Yeah, but not all. I mean,
hold on. But then if you go get me some Black Indians and some Black explorers and trade, I'm saying I don't agree to that. And then if that's the person that actually, but that's the person that actually put it together, you can't change
so what?
thing because you can't change his thing. It don't make sense no more because that's not what he's saying.
That's his thing. What does any of that have to do with what makes me a? What does any of that have to do with
so the
what
thing that makes
me a foundational Black American?
I'm about to tell you what actually makes you a foundational American. It's the same thing that makes you an African American.
Exactly.
All right.
No,
I'm not arguing that though. That's what I'm saying.
So there's no reason to call yourself FBA if you listen to what Uncle is explaining to you.
Yeah.
I can choose to do that just like on the census now. It's not just African American, it's Black and African American.
Let me ask a question though. The whale could choose to call himself a fish in the example that Uncle's
giving. Let me ask a question though, just from my personal
can I finish
data
though?
collection.
Hold on, let me finish. There has always been a time in this country specifically where not all African Americans, foundational Black Americans, agreed on one specific designation. Like there was a time when we were called coloreds and not all Black folk agreed or liked being called colored or Negro. Or African American for that.
Let me ask you one question though.
But ain't them all the same people though?
Yeah. Let me ask you one question. Then you can
aren't those all the same people though?
Yes, bro.
All right then.
Yes. So let me ask you a question though.
Like
if you have, I'm saying if you have one movement, the ADOS movement, right? And the FBA basically is a carbon copy of that movement, but it has the other. But they got the pseudo pack with it. Why do you choose FBA and not ADOS when it's less baggage with the ADOS? Like why do you choose that? I'm just curious.
I mean, I don't know. It's more aligned with I feel like defines our people.
There's no difference. The only difference is the 3 stars.
No, the difference is the choice. Like some of us choose ADOS.
No. You said that
have you heard of Sulan?
Listen, you said that the reason.
Have you heard of Sulan though?
No.
Listen, you choose
right. So
before you moved there, you said the reason you choose FBA
to identify as Sulan now.
No, I'm saying you said that it disagrees with you, like the tenants in there.
That's another identity for learn. That's like African, soulful people, African Americans. That's another name for African.
No, but I'm saying the ingredients are the same except for one had the 3 stars. You just like the letters better. The FBA is slicker.
I think the name speaks more to it speaks more boldly and correctly about who our people are in this country. Am I wrong? I mean, I don't understand how you can be wrong
to say that. For what you're saying, you would have to be including the entire definition. When you were given the example of us people being called colored and then eventually called Negro and eventually called these other things, if I'm agreeing to, if I accept being called a color and then my brother says, well, I'm gonna start using the new word versus the old word, they still are essentially the same thing. They're just not agreeing on which word they're using. This has a different definition, bro. Like, but the Negro don't have a different definition,
right? But so that's what y'all are hung up on, though. Y'all are fixated on, oh, well, you have to. In order for you to identify as foundational Black American,
yeah, you kind of playing with me, man.
I have to accept.
I like Recollect. I have to accept
what Tariq put forth on a website
Yo.
in order for me to identify as who I am.
No, we're not saying that. We're saying
That's basic. That's just
no.
what
It's
you
not what
said,
we're
though.
saying. I'm just saying
You keep
if
asking me about a
if
definition.
we live at a time where Negro becomes me and you. We live at a time where Negro becomes the new word for the same people that we all agreeing that we are, right? And I still say colored, and you start choosing to say Negro, they are literally the same thing. So we're not saying you're choosing the same thing. You're choosing something that you said more correctly defines. That was your word. Well, the more like Negro and colored, they're the same thing. You're just choosing to use the other word. But if you say something is more correctly defined and the FBA is more correctly defined than ADOS,
Right.
then you would have to be going by what's different about it.
Right.
You're not going by what's the same about it. To be more correctly defined, you would have to say, okay, what does FBA be versus what's more correctly defined? Well, the only things that are different are the Native Americans.
Yeah, but why would you be asking me as if something is different then? If you know something isn't, if you know there's no difference, why are you asking me as if there is?
We're saying there is a difference. So I'm not saying
we're looking at the difference.
It's not a difference.
I am saying there is a difference.
There isn't a difference.
You said now. You said to me,
I
know there's not a difference.
How is there a difference? How is there a difference of almost 45 million foundational Black Americans in this country?
Whoa. Hold on.
No, the FBA
simply
hold on.
because
Let me jump in real quick, Stephen. Hold on. This is what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to play the dream world. There is not 45 million FBA. Not unless you're saying what we're saying, that FBA are African American. That's the only way you can get that number, bro. I'm not going to let you do that.
I literally said that already. I said that already.
No, you didn't say that just now. You said
I
45 million
said that
FBA.
in the beginning, I told you I would agree to you using what you like to use African American.
No.
I'm saying the same people you like to talk about that are the same people that you talk about that are African American are the same people that I'm talking about.
I got it. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
I dropped it.
Do you?
All right, go ahead.
Do you understand that colored to Negro or Negro to African American? Do you understand that if those have the same definitions? Do you understand that ADOS and FBA don't have the same definition? Do you understand that?
They're the same people.
I said, do you understand they have different definitions?
What's the difference? Wait, what?
Yeah, they simply have different definitions, because even you said one more correctly defines. So even you're aware that it has a different definition because you choose it because it more correctly defines. Right. Like definition and define.
I don't think I said it more. If I said it more correctly defines, then I misspoke. But I meant
because that's exactly what you said.
You said it.
Okay, I can't misspeak.
Yeah.
Okay, all right then.
No, that's fine. So when you now
we clear.
You don't feel like you're more correctly
what I'm saying is foundational Black American more correctly defines who we are in this country.
You just said it again, brother. You just said it again. It more correctly defines who we are. You just said it again, brother.
You got your partner FBA. Trey might can help you out. Hey Trey, he in trouble right now.
I'm definitely not in trouble. I'm definitely not in trouble.
But you just said you didn't wait. I misspoke when I said you said more correctly defined. Then you said more correctly defined.
Are you in trouble, man?
At least acknowledge that.
Be in trouble is crazy.
Said it again. You at least acknowledge that, brother. You said I misspoke, then repeated it. Will you at least acknowledge that? You said, "Can I not misspeak?" Say the same thing again. At least give me that, brother.
What is that supposed to mean, though?
No,
like, I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to.
You said it. You said if I said that,
what that means, though.
And then you turn around and repeated it.
What does that mean, though?
You said that if I said that the FBA correctly defines who I am, I misspoke.
I heard him. What is that?
I want to
supposed
say
to
that
mean?
the FBA most correctly defined. You went right back and said
So
exactly.
that means you didn't.
Right, but what does
to
that
me,
mean, though?
I can tell you. To me,
Here's what it means. I asked the question. Let me answer.
To me, that didn't mean you actually misspoke. That's what the hell you meant to me.
Yeah. So you.
All
So yeah, when you
right.
say it
Well,
again,
that doesn't change the argument.
Well, yeah, no. I'm saying, let me break down why I'm saying it's different. Like, again, color to Negro, Negro to African American, those are defined as the same. People can choose. The reason we're not saying you can't choose. Hold on. You said we were saying you can't choose to like one over the other, and we said the difference is FBA and ADOS are not defined as the same things. So that's not a fair comparison to compare it to Negro, colored, and African American, because those are all three are the same. People could just choose. These FBA has a different definition. And then I said, even you suggested that one more correctly defines, which means you are acknowledging that it has additional definition.
By default, by you saying that, you saying the FBA has the more correct way of doing it.
Yeah.
So you're acknowledging
are the people the same? Are we talking about the same people?
No, we're not.
How are we not talking? What other people are we talking about then?
The FBA is talking about Indians and people that came.
What is the ethnicity? What's the ethnicity of people that we talking about?
You talking about some black aboriginals, traders, right? See, I can't let you get away with that because that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what FBA is talking about.
It up now, bro.
Yeah, that's the definition.
Yeah, that's what it is, Joe. I know what you're trying to do. I know.
But
you know who your brothers is.
But if that's the case, then you basically saying a bunch of people that don't exist.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you fell into that trap.
Easy.
I'm not
for a reparations claim.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna put a website up on your own court day. They're gonna pull a website up.
I don't agree to what you're saying.
Why not? I ain't making it up.
You talking about some people that don't exist or whatever. I'm talking about the same people you're talking about.
That's the definition that more correctly defines us, according to you. Yeah. You said that more correctly defines us. They have a different definition. That's why it's not the equivalent of color, Negro to African American. FBA has a different definition from all of
them. My mom is 60 years old. She has not always been identified as African American. Her birth certificate actually says Negro on. I was actually shocked.
Exactly.
Yeah, all three of those are the same thing. FBA and ADOS are not the same thing, though, bro. Like you acknowledging it yourself.
Yeah, we Negroes too, bro. We Negroes.
We're all of them but FBA.
Yeah, but even in the earlier documents, like you see African American, you see Negro, you see Black. You look at the documents from the 1700s of African Americans writing about themselves.
Yeah, I tell you what's
but they all didn't identify as like.
That's always the case, not a problem, bro.
I said that in the beginning, though.
But it's still the same definition.
I said that in the beginning, though.
But
it's not the same definition.
It's not.
What's the difference between a Negro and an African American?
Yeah, what's the difference between a Negro and African American? Please.
What's the difference between a Foundation of Black American and ADOS?
The Foundation of Black American includes Aboriginals and Indians.
Yeah.
It's wrong then.
It will be wrong, right?
Yeah. Anyway, like Foundational African Americans really is a mixture of diaspora and Africans anyway. You know what I'm saying? Especially
say that again.
But
African Americans is a mixture of diasporic Africans anyway. You know what I'm saying? You want to go you understand the history.
I don't disagree to that.
But
that's what Foundation of Black Americans are.
No. All right, I'm gonna show you something, and then I'm gonna let Trey go get it. And I think this is important. And we have a bunch of logical people on here. And so let me share my screen. Let me show you how this kind of works. All right. And so if we come here to the FBA, right? Pretty sure they're gonna have their own Wikipedia page in a minute. And we come down, we're looking at FBA. You ain't talking about the Federal Bar Association. You ain't talking about the Federation of British Arts. You ain't talking about that. You gotta be talking about Foundation of Black America. So I click it. Bam. Okay. I see Treat and see. Hold on. Redirected from Foundation of Black Americans. Boom. It take you right back to Tariq. So at this point, if I'm just a person, a young guy, 18 surfing, at a certain point, I'm gonna have to click this shit right here, yo. I'm gonna have to. It say Tariq Nasheed, film producer, internet personality. He's best known for his Hidden Color film series, as well as his commentary and promotion of conspiracy theories on social media. So now in my head, I'm saying, damn, man, this guy's actually promoting conspiracy theories, but that might not get me off the thing. Well, the Hidden Color film series. I'll click it on, let's see what this is, right?
Can we not talk about that
No,
shit?
this is
That ain't
important.
got
I'm
nothing
telling
to
you
do
how
with
we take it. Does, yo. You cannot.
it.
This
Really don't.
no, you really
Don't, man.
listen. You really can't
I hate when the
separate.
conversation always
It's
just
not.
go to
Listen, you
dude,
cut me
man.
off on purpose because you feel like I'm winning.
No, because you just rambling and about it just ain't got nothing.
Okay, all right.
He's gonna land the plane. Let him land it.
I'm saying, listen, bro. Hidden Colors. This is the first one.
Oh my God.
Untold history of people of Aboriginal, Moor, and African descent, yo. Yo, he make an organization based off of this type of information right here, yo.
Them the 3 stars.
I'm not sitting here doing this. Come on, bro. Like this what it is, bro. It ain't no, it is what it is.
Yeah, we wouldn't argue with you.
I'm not arguing about that.
If
I'm not
the FBA had the same definition of ADOS, African Americans, Negroes, and colored. The reason we separated it because it doesn't have the same definition. And you said it.
My point is when a person is trying to look up something, you normally go for written documentation. Am I tripping or something?
Nah,
I'm not just getting in the damn thing and start calling myself something and don't read up on it. So when you go to read up on it, all roads lead back to read. And then if I'm proud of being, hey man, I kind of like that. And then I go to the website, bro. Like this is what you literally asking me to do, bro. Listen.
Of course, it's gonna lead to him.
No. I'm gonna tell you what you're doing. No, I'm gonna tell you what you're doing, yo. You're literally asking me to look this up and find this website and don't read the shit. If I'm 15 years old, bro, 17, 18, just getting in the service, it's a foundational Black American, and it got all the information on the damn thing, bro. Like the whole thing.
Ain't nobody
let me
Googling African American.
No, I just want to finish it, yo. Because this is important. I'm trying to make a point.
Who you are.
I'm saying when human beings in the United States of America decide to join any type of group these days, they're going to look it up. Some kind of way they're going to end up at this website. And a dedicated person is going to read the whole damn website, bro. They're going to read it and they're going to educate themselves on what it is. You saying don't pay no attention to this because you don't agree with it. But you obviously agree with it because you in it. You keep calling yourself it. You can't separate yourself from that.
And you said it more correctly defines.
So
you have to go by the definition.
What
you say.
Yeah, Stephanie, you confusing us now. Don't read it. Don't read what? You gotta read something, right?
I didn't tell you not to read nothing. You can read.
So you saying you gonna accept the name just to accept it because it sounds good?
I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that. Like
I'm asking you why you accept it. Just curious, and then I'm gonna get the tray. Why? What in your wildest dreams make you like the name? Because it's slick. What? I'm asking you. Seriously.
Because I for one, I agree to the delineation movement. I agree that.
What is that?
I agree that our people in this country, because of the influx of immigrants, we do need to differentiate ourselves from all melanated, from the various groups of melanated people in this country.
They was doing it on the census. You didn't know that? That was why they was gathering the census information, yo. Yeah. Tell me you ain't know that.
That you just asked me why, man. I just gave it to you why.
And I know, and I'm telling you, they've been doing it for years on the U.S. Census, yo. You didn't know that? They was delineating between
and that's what ADOS wants to do as well. So ADOS wants to do that.
I'm aware. I brought up it being African American, Black and African American already. I'm aware of it.
Right.
But
So
what I'm saying,
ODS is doing that. So can I
is,
ask what's different?
what I'm saying is, I feel like many other people feel like it needs to be upgraded, and what I feel like rightfully designates our people is foundational Black American. Our people are responsible for the building blocks of this country. We laid the foundation of this country. And so I feel like that designation makes the most sense.
But
So
that's what an African American
ADOS
is,
does
though.
that.
And I
ADOS
don't
does that.
disagree with you, Unc. I already said
So let
that,
me ask.
man.
Can I ask you a question?
FBA
ADOS
sounds
does what
slicker,
you said. So
slicker.
what does
I mean,
FBA? What does
hey, be
FBA do
down. But
different
that
than
don't
ADOS?
mean pigeonhole me to somebody else's like.
No, what I'm asking is, what does FBA do different than ADOS to you?
I don't even want to get into that. I don't care. I just wanted to answer the question.
The FBA sounds slick, man. Just say it.
You asked me.
Yeah, you just gotta say you like it
Yeah,
slick
roll
update shit.
I mean, look, we can go with
I can
that
tell you
then.
straight up.
But we can go with that.
All
That
right,
don't
go ahead,
mean
Trey.
that, like I said, that don't
do you
mean
still
that
think
don't
it
mean
more
hold
correctly
me.
defines?
That
Or
don't
you
mean
don't?
hold
Or
me
does
to
that
what
misspeak?
Tariq and or anybody else, even anybody else who come
I'm
on
not
here and
hope.
they agree with FBA. Man, look, I know who my people are, and that ain't gonna change based off of like
Aboriginal.
the
Black Aboriginal.
name or
All right,
whatever. Like
but I didn't know
your
you.
people is your people.
I didn't know you was connected to the Black Aboriginals, yo, and the Black traders, yo. My
And
fault.
Callaway.
Dan Calloway in there. My fault, bro. My fault. My fault. My fault. I'm gonna move on to Trey. So we figured it out. Trey, what's up? Explain
Uh,
this. 'Cause he can't explain it.
you know, I
What?
disagree. You already know I disagree with Tariq what he's saying. You know, FBA to me is just a little bit of Indian, a little bit of white, but we are mainly, you know, black people. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote ex-slaves
That's not
or
FBA though.
but
So there you go.
Black in Israel.
I disagree.
Oh,
I
you crazy.
disagree with
Same
him
question
though.
though. For my little data collection, why do you choose FBA over
Because
ADOS?
it sounds
But
slicker.
one doesn't
Well,
have
no,
the
let me
package
tell
with
you.
it.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
All right, go ahead.
When
You
when
got
when
this stuff in your
when
mind.
hold on. When I first, started to inform myself on what it was, I thought it meant what I just said. I thought it meant, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it was just a little bit of Indian, a little bit of white, and mainly African, American, because that's really what African American is. But once Unc showed me the website, I immediately disagreed. Unc, no.
Right,
Right.
you
Just
did.
like I did though,
The
bro.
truth
I'm
is the truth.
telling you.
No, you did,
But,
Stephen. You ran, Stephen. We ain't gonna give you
No,
that
Unc,
credit. Yeah.
You asked me
hold
this
on,
the first time we
hold on,
talked
bro.
about it, and I
Mm-hmm.
told you I didn't agree with it.
Hold
All
on,
So
right.
you don't like
bro.
you don't like the slavery on the end of ADOS.
But but the thing about it is we
You funny
have
as that.
to delineate because the African
But
American
we
term is
nobody's
too
arguing
broad.
about delineating though. None
yeah,
of
we
us on
do.
here argue that point.
Right, but I'm just
We're
saying
just
the
trying to
African
figure out. We're just trying
American
to figure
term.
out everything y'all are saying. If you disagree with that part, then why not be ADOS?
I
That's what
disagree with calling myself African American because it's too broad. It's too broad of a term.
ADOS is American descendant of slavery.
Yeah, it's not African American. Yes, not African.
ADOS.
Why don't y'all
No, that's
identify as
cool too.
ADOS though?
That's cool too. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Because
don't got no
African
problem with
American.
ADOS.
Because it's what?
I don't got no problem with ADOS. All I'm saying is African
Oh
American is too
no,
broad of a term. Like
not
right
true.
now, we
How?
got Byron. I forget his last name, but
Take
I
Barack
think he
Obama.
running.
That's the easy one. Take Barack Obama. That's the easy one.
No, I don't want to do Barack Obama.
Why not? That's the easy one. They call him
I
an
don't.
African American.
No. The easiest one would be the
I'm
dude
giving
in
you an out.
Florida
You ain't
who
taking it, bro.
running.
I'm giving you an
He
out.
No.
running for the
Get on
governor
your
of
side with
Florida,
that one.
Yeah, he's
and
supposed to
and
be able to fight
and
with them,
and,
right?
Yeah,
and
he's
he
supposed to be
acting
red
like
with
he
that.
an African American, and he not.
Who?
I think his name Byron something, but
Okay.
he is the same person
Oh,
that
talking like the
said,
Panamanian
I
dude.
don't
I think.
believe in he Jamaican.
Okay.
But this
Yeah, he's
dude
from the
said
counterpart.
that I don't agree with reparations because my mother wouldn't get it.
Who mother?
His name is Byron.
Byron
Byron
Donalds.
something.
Byron
Something.
Donalds.
But he running for governor
he's
of
representative out of
Florida.
Florida.
Okay.
So but he will say he's African American. It's too broad. Like it's
nobody argue with you. Just argue with yourself right now.
You don't like Jesse Jackson, yo.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
If you say
nobody like
I'd rather call myself Black American or FBA 8OS rather than African American.
Wow.
Black is just as broad. That's just as broad.
No, Black American.
Black take you out.
American.
We US American though. We from the United States of America, not just America.
Hey, Trey, I give you something slick. I want you to know for sure that a Ghanaian and Nigerian can be a black person. Ain't no debating on that one, bro, in America. But a Ghanaian and a Nigerian, no, hold on, but a Nigerian and a Ghanaian can't be an African American. It's impossible because they're not part of that ethnic group. Because the African Americans have a unique designation. They have an ethnogenesis. Enslaved Africans, 20 to 30% Europeans in their genome, and 1 to 4% Native Americans. And the Nigerian can never be that. Not the first generation, not the second generation. They's not. Ethnically, they are Nigerian, yo. And their homeland is Nigeria.
Yeah, only one.
That's the trick. Hold on. That's the trick. No, I'm saying that's the trickumship. I'm trying to get you to see something that's serious. What's going on is called a great marketing scheme. That was not founded on scholarship, and it wasn't founded. It was founded on it come out of a movie, bro. And I know it sounds wild, and I can show you the movie where they talk about all this.
But it's the truth.
And I know it sounds crazy, yo, because it's slick. It's a new thing, but that's all it is. And then I'm a hater for saying it. I seen it like I was like, oh man, that's all, bro.
No, you no hater, bro. Nah, but what I'm saying is that they can 100% call themselves African American, bro. They already do it.
No, I'm saying you're an African American. Whether you call you, listen. The funny part about being an African American, you don't gotta call yourself that because you that anyway. You can't get away from it.
I know, but I'm just saying, like the term is just too broad. So when they get up and speak, it's like they're speaking for us.
Who?
That's what I'm saying. Look, when you have other people, immigrants that come over here, right, and they have children, their children grow up really,
bro.
You know
We on your side. That's all we're telling you is be everything you're saying.
But what if their children?
ADOS.
But what if their children had? What if their children had children with African Americans, and them children are attached to African American history because their lineage is now because they mixed in.
But it still doesn't make them.
Sometimes people amalgamate and mix in. Like you don't just be to a cut both parents Nigerian. You might have a Nigerian that marry a damn African American. What are those kids?
One generation don't make it.
Well, you have to choose. Either you're American or
you could be both. You could be both. You could have both.
You gotta choose.
I'm African American.
You can't be both. You can't be both.
Yes, you can.
Listen, you cannot be both with a Caribbean parent and an African American parent, and then you got two Caribbean grandparents. That's not African American.
I'm African American and I'm Afro Cubano. My granddad is Cuban, and I was raised in both cultures. I'm both. You can't be both.
But your grandparents is Caribbean.
Humans are all. I don't know if you can be both.
Hold on, bro. Let me listen. You gotta listen, bro. My grandfather is Afro Cubano. My mother's father, and her mother's African American. You know what I'm saying? So
you're in trouble, brother. You can't get no money. You're in trouble, brother. Don't worry about it, though. You're in trouble.
Because I'm gonna learn the both. I'm gonna learn the both cultures. You can be both, bro. Everything is black and white world. You got this shit too. Even African American.
Don't worry about it, bro.
So Malcolm X not an African American no more.
Yeah, he in trouble. Yeah, everybody done.
Who said that?
Yeah, he done it.
His father's an African American.
Nah,
Right,
they
and
But
then
Malcolm
his
X would have told you he's an African American
his
though.
parents are African American.
What a president.
Not
He
just
would
it
never
don't
told
just
you
stop
he's
at
the
his
uncle.
parents.
Listen, that wouldn't even Malcolm X is doing the time, but his lineage would trace back to Jim Crow, so that they wouldn't even
Exactly. That lineage would too. I got my
No,
lineage
but
too.
that don't you don't fit that model though,
I'm
bro.
just moving yourself out of it. I'm
My
trying
mama's
to
mother from damn Mississippi, nigga. Fuck you
yeah, I'm
talking about?
saying.
No,
Bro,
hold
you don't
on.
fit that model though. If
You insert
if
your
your
personal thing into that.
Now
parents
reset.
are
Hey,
African
you gotta
American,
reset.
bro,
You
you're
gotta
not
reset.
African
Yeah,
American.
You
y'all
gotta
tripping
reset.
if y'all try to disrespect this man with a mama from America. Like
That's what I'm
y'all
saying.
tripping.
You
Anybody
should
that
never
say
put
this man is
your
not what he
personal thing
says,
into that.
that's a stupid talk.
Like
We
what
gotta
is
reset.
Barack Obama's kids?
Hold
No,
on,
we're
we
not
gotta
disrespecting
reset.
him,
Listen.
but
No,
all I'm
hold
saying,
on.
you can't
Listen,
be
Tell this
listen.
I
man
didn't
he
disrespect
ain't
him.
Yeah, come on, yo. We like having fun. We ain't cussing each other. We just
I
playing.
know y'all had that on. Let's go.
Yeah, I got the pseudo alert, yo. We
Yeah,
wilding out for no
we
reason.
started to get stupid. We're gonna tell this man he
Yeah,
ain't.
and Gullah, you know I'm playing. Y'all said Malcolm, all y'all in trouble. You know I'm having fun, bro.
Yeah, I know you
Stupid
can.
now. How you gonna
I
tell
don't
this man
look.
he
I
ain't?
don't even want to get into no personal. Look, Gullah, my bad, bro. I don't even want to do. I don't even want to get into
Yeah,
it.
it's
I speak
like it is. They go black person
Afro-Cuban
kids,
Spanish.
kids is mixed. They don't make them not African American. Like y'all stupid. That's stupid.
Do it make you FBA though?
nah.
Hey, according to these guys, you can leave off any part of the definition you like.
And first of all, all of them was a
Any
melanated
part of the
anyway.
definition you like.
Hey, look, by the time Stephen and Trey finish, yo, ain't nobody gonna get no money. Everybody, shit, you gonna have 2 people left.
Hey, man, you already know how I feel.
That ain't how it works.
If he wrong, he wrong. He right, he right.
Bro,
Damn.
you know how many
Correct
generations
definition, but you
back
don't have to use
African
all the
Americans go
definition.
back in this
You got it?
country?
Yeah, you can't use the whole thing.
Can have the more correct definition, but you don't have to
We
use
just
all
gotta
of
say
it.
that nigga wrong till he's
Well,
wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I know y'all know how many generations we go back in this country, though.
Go ahead, explain it. Y'all got this shit down.
No, I'm saying why y'all acting
Bruh.
like it's like two generations of African Americans in this country or some shit.
Who's
That's
acting
crazy.
like that? What you talking about? I don't even
I ain't say that.
No,
Yeah.
that's how y'all acting. Y'all acting like just because you got a Caribbean.
I'm not even disagreeing with you. I just want to
Caribbean
understand what you
parent.
mean.
Okay.
How we acting like? I want to understand you.
Right. Well, stop talking while I'm talking, and then I can get it out.
Okay.
How y'all explaining it is, if one of your parents is Caribbean, then that makes you African American.
I didn't say that.
Nobody said that. So maybe if you
I think that was Gullah.
What I'm saying is one generation. How does one generation, if you have a Caribbean parent and an African American parent, how does one generation make you African American?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what you mean?
If you have 2 Caribbean grandparents, and
Okay.
then your parents are African American and Caribbean, how does that make you African American? You got 2 Caribbean grandparents.
Your other 2 parents is black.
Your lineage don't even
you can't use the 2 that you don't like and forget about the other 2 grandparents.
So only one parent has a father and a mother? What are you talking about?
Right.
Bruh, I just said if you have 2 Caribbean grandparents, bruh.
What about the 2 black parents on the other side?
American grandparents don't have parents. They don't have grandparents on the other side either.
Gullah, bro. If you got 2 Caribbean grandparents, then they parents obviously come from the Caribbean.
That ain't what I'm talking. But what about your other side, though?
Yeah, what about your other side, bro? Talk about the other side.
Oh my God!
How are you leaving out the other side?
You have 4 grandparents.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you sound slow, bro.
Bro, I sound slow.
Yeah, the man that said black people are melanated. Everybody melanated.
All right, look, I'm gonna say.
Coming off with that.
I'm gonna use me. I'm gonna use me. If my mom,
I think all y'all gonna lose y'all money, yo. with the lawyer handling. Hey, mom,
Y'all niggas is
they need to
crazy.
put the lawyer handling, bro.
Yeah, don't them mixed Native Americans when they mix with white people, and even though they Native American, they get their money?
Yep.
Yeah, according to the
How you
FBA,
got-
all them
y'all
motherfuckers get theirs. So how you gonna
Yeah.
dog this dude out? The
How you
FBA
got-
say all of them get their
How
money.
you got
Yeah,
two
black.
Caribbean grandparents talking about you African, you foundation of black?
You know, when you mean too, you mean like the setitude, like
Yes, man.
Oh my God,
Yes,
this dude is
man.
laughing at
It ain't
something that
rocket
is
science,
defined
man.
on the
All y'all over here
defined as
smarter than that.
FBA.
Y'all acting slow right now.
But that's what you meant. You mean like you got a grandmother and a grandparent, a grandmother and a grandparent,
And
and
if
both
all
from the
of them
Caribbean.
come from the Caribbean,
Yeah, that's
how
what he
the
was
hell
saying.
one
That's what he was saying,
generation?
Colson. Yeah, explain that. Explain that, Gullah.
From Caribbean, he said the other two black. What do y'all
That's what he said. You heard him?
No,
He
I'm
said-
talking about the parents.
Yeah, he's saying four people.
If it's me, and my mom is Caribbean, my dad is African American, but then my grandparents are from the Caribbean,
Yeah, he's
how
saying
does
from
that
his
make me
He's saying from
African
his mother.
American?
He's saying from his mother and his father's side. Both grandparents from the Caribbean.
Man,
That don't even make
dog.
sense. That don't even make sense. If your father's African American,
All right, man. I'm good. All right. Hey, no, I get
African
you.
American, how
All
is
right,
your
Don.
parents from the Caribbean? You don't even make sense, bro.
Yeah, because your father wouldn't be. At that point, your father wouldn't be an African American.
Grandparents from the Caribbean.
Yeah, if the four grandparents come from the Caribbean, then they'd be immigrants.
Right.
They wouldn't be African American.
But what I'm saying is my parents. Y'all are saying one generation can make you an African American. That's what y'all saying. Y'all saying one generation, me, would make me that's not how that works, man.
That's not that ain't how it go.
Bro, y'all
Yes, it would, bro. Y'all slow, bro. If one of your parents is African American, straight up lineage come from Mississippi, your mother live in Mississippi, and then your father may be Afro-Cuban or something, a black Cuban.
Okay.
You still attached to your damn mama's side. What are you talking about?
Oh
Yeah, how are you taking him away from his mother's side? That's what I don't understand. What you're maybe help me understand how.
Yeah, because FBA shave it down to two people. Only two people get money.
No.
It's a Nipsey Hussle.
Black American.
Nipsey Hussle from his mother. So you exclude Nipsey Hussle from his mother from Louisiana. You only line him up with his father.
Yeah, his father, you treating, right?
Wasn't Nipsey like born in Ethiopia or some shit though?
No, he's born in the United States. His mother's an African American from Louisiana. Y'all dudes are slow.
All right, bro. I ain't called you all. You going crazy?
No, we ain't calling by no name.
But I think when it came down to it, though, his allegiance was to Black Americans. At the end of the day,
doing too much.
So what was your question? You had a good question, so somebody answered it, yo. I can't even hear him. You must be out of that.
I guess Neil Tyson. I guess Neil Tyson ain't African American no more. His mother Puerto Rican, his father African American.
Oh man, nobody ain't getting no money. It's a trick. They didn't trick us.
But listen, bro.
Boy, the FBA got us fucked up, huh?
Got us fucked up. Well, God dang, bro. Oh man. Man, we in trouble, bro. All of us, yo. We can't, you know what, yo, we cannot argue with each other like this, yo. Cedric gonna end up getting the money.
That's why the market plan should have never came through. Because
Cedric got the bread. Cedric got the money.
Oh my God. Y'all, you gotta think about this, yo. This is my point. I'm gonna make this one of my closing statements. Ain't nowhere in the world you're born and raised in the United States and don't understand what an organization is, right? You can have an organization that's tight with paper, meaning the paper trail is there, or you can have an organization by name. Ain't nowhere in the world y'all gonna disconnect yourself from the very person that created and gave you terms to define. And we know he did that because he broke away from a quote unquote organization because he ain't like it. And he made his own thing up. And the historical narrative, quote unquote, is based in his pseudomentaries. There's no way you can separate that from that. As a matter of fact, to try to separate it from that is what I would say I should have did a long time ago when I was too close to Malachi York. I used to say this: I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in that. I said, but I understand how the Bible is a crazy book, right? But at that point, a lot of information was wild and crazy, right? So I could always find better information without the wild and crazy. Y'all can always find another thing, another idea, yo, that ain't mixed in wild pseudo archaeological history. Y'all can. But right now you can't see it. I'm coming from experience, bro. If a person is talking about aliens and pickle man and then got some good quotes from the Bible and atheism, you would just get away from that because it's too wild at that point. And you always find yourself defending it, then saying, but I don't agree with that. But then you defended it, but I don't agree with that. Yo, it's madness, bro. Trust me, bro. That's not coherent at all. So to ignore what the ethnogenesis is by the very foundation that's in written literature, bro. When they do a Wikipedia page, they're going to pull from that. They ain't got no choice. You can't say, well, that's the part I agree with. No, that's the part that make you not that. That's the part why you ain't messing with it. Because it's the foundation of the whole daggone thing. Now, maybe with some light work stuff up here in the corner. Well, you know, you be FBA, the foundation is black slaves, white Europeans, and a little bit Native Americans, but you can have 10 wives and smack them all. You might say, oh, I agree with that. But that's not the foundation of it. That's just an extra thing added on. But the foundation of what they say make you FBA is black aboriginal, some traders and conquistadors or something wild like that, yo. It's like, it's yo, that is the most I can't even believe y'all sitting there going for that, yo.
Nah, that nigga wrong.
No, I get it, Unc. They hand on eye. They just don't believe in Yakub.
Unc, I've been telling you that nigga wrong.
Hey, 1526, that wasn't even a British colony. That was a Scottish colony. That wasn't even a British colony.
I can't believe, man, I get it, Mo. It's the same thing we all face with. There's going to be a moment in your development as a human being, as coming from a lineage of people that was enslaved to the point where they just settled for calling themselves black because they ain't know where the hell they came from. They just didn't know, yo, because you are erased. If you saying you black, you literally have been erased. There is no place called the black place in the black land. There is no such thing. So that means you're starting from the beginning. That's exactly what that term means when you keep saying it. It means somebody else have crafted that. That's what it means. And they put that on you, and to get away from the pain and misunderstanding who you are, you bring it in and you empower yourself with it. You switch them up on them. That's what that is, bro. Jesse Jackson, he was like, well, hold on. We don't know exactly. We know you from Africa. Let's embrace that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like a Polish American. Let's at least do that. Mm-hmm. Let's give us some heritage so we can start looking for our roots, right? Our roots is in Africa, right? But we live in America and we right here. That's what he did. He empowered us with that.
He tried to make it a standard. He tried to make it a standard.
Huh?
I said Jesse Jackson tried to make it a standard to be African American because we always used that term, but he tried to make it a standard.
But it backfired though, bro.
It didn't backfire until Tariq came with the pseudomentaries.
But it did backfire though, bro, because those same Africans look at us like we immigrants like them. That's why they asked us, where you from?
Because they playing with you. Yeah, they playing with you on that point. At that point, yeah.
Would you have an issue with the census?
We're not immigrants like them though.
I mean, the whole damn country is immigrants because unless you FBA, because they think Aboriginal.
Yeah, you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that they think we're not American like we are American. They think we immigrants like them.
Yeah, it's like being an NOI and not believing in Yakub, yo.
How is we immigrants?
The Africans think that. That's why they keep asking us, where you from? Where you from? We tell them from America.
That's not why they ask you that. It's a cultural thing where they're from. So they just come here and say the same thing that they would say.
Yeah.
When we tell them America, then
we mixed our Africanism and created something new and continuous. It's still African culture, but it's a continuous African culture. It's an African diaspora culture.
Yeah. You know, they asking that question through their own ignorance because it's really an ignorant question once you know the history of African American.
It's not an
But they don't know
ignorant
the history.
question when the majority of the world does that. The majority, we're really, the United States is a unique place. It is very common for when you go to other countries, that is a common thing that gets asked. We have this diverse society, and we have black and white made up specifically in this country, and so we have black and white constructs. The rest of the world typically goes where you're from. That is a normal question.
No. For an African to come to this country and look a black person in the face and act, nigga, I'm from America, because you here in America, ain't you?
No, they're just saying it out of cultural ritual.
No,
I don't know about that. So you saying when I go to Ghanaian, I don't ask a Ghanaian, where you from? Right?
You would ask them what tribe.
Yeah,
You
I say
already know
what
where
tribe.
you're from.
Yeah, what tribe, right?
So I know to say that in 2025, but had I been able to go to Africa in 1990, I would have said where you from, because that's what I said, America.
Oh,
I mean, but in
I
America,
just would have said where you from. That's just what I said.
In America, you almost have to ask people where they're from. This is the most diverse country, on the planet.
So I'm just saying, they're just coming here. It's a cultural norm. They're not saying it's a cultural norm for them.
But they are saying it though. We've heard them say, y'all don't know where y'all from. We do know where we from.
Yeah,
from America.
They're talking about
that's the wrong answer. You don't know where you're from.
You don't know your connection to your tribe is what they're saying.
But they don't. What?
They don't care about that tribe shit.
Yeah,
okay, you may not care about it, but that's what I'm saying. You said they say it.
Yeah.
So they're not wrong in what they're saying. Why?
No, they're ignorant.
That's different too. You're right, man.
You just said you don't care about it. So why are you calling them ignorant and you don't give a fuck about it?
Yeah, right. Why would they be ignorant when you don't care?
I don't care.
Flip-flopping, man. You be agreeing with
I'm saying they only saying it because they think of us like immigrants.
I'm saying Montoya switched it now. Y'all switched the conversation now. It's different. Right? Okay, I was saying if you come to this country and say, where you from? Right? And I'm like, nigga, I'm from America, right? I'm thinking you being slick. But then you said, then y'all switched it to, they asked you what tribe you from. And then you said, what? I ain't connected to no African tribe. I'm here in America. You get it? When in actuality, that's a par for the course question to ask you. Okay, you from America? Hold on. They said you from America. They know you from America, but they know you came from Africa. What tribe in Africa is what they're trying to say and then they get slick. You don't know?
It's different here though, man. In America, somebody asks you where you from, you gonna say what state or what city you from. Like, somebody asked me, I'm gonna say I'm from Cleveland. I ain't gonna say I'm from Ohio. I don't even care about Ohio.
I'm trying to figure out why are they saying the Africans think we're immigrants. Like that's dumb. I don't understand why.
That's dumb. They don't think that.
Africans don't think
they do, bro. That's why they asking us where we from.
No, that's not why.
To say Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria. That's what they're expecting. They not expecting us to say no tribe, bro.
Man, the most Africans I know, they know we from West and Central Africa though. Like y'all from West Africa, y'all from the same type of cluster of people. African friends I don't know what ignorant Africans y'all be around.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where Africans you be around.
Man, most of them Africans ain't thinking like that, bro.
They know most of them ain't thinking what the hell y'all saying. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to understand.
We're definitely not thinking like that, bro.
That sounds xenophobic, bro.
I actually work with a bunch of Africans, and they didn't never ask me nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. We got a whole side of
man. They don't be asking that shit.
I live in Houston. Houston got the biggest Nigerian population outside their country. Like Africans here don't be on there, bro. I don't know what
you're talking about. Yeah, Africans in Atlanta don't be on that shit at all. Yeah, they definitely don't be on that shit. That's there's some divisive stuff. That ain't how it's done.
Yeah,
not all devices. Some of them work very well with each other, with us. And some of them, we dog them out, and so they don't fuck with us. And then some of them fuck with us, and we do a lot of business together. So yeah, they definitely don't be on me some immigrant
Yeah,
shit.
they definitely do business with the brothers down here in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Everybody making money down here.
Hell yeah. They get money together for real. And we got a section where they keep their money inside their circles, based on their religion. So that's so we see both. We see working together and some separation. We see both down here.
Yeah, Montoya got a lot to offer y'all on a whole lot of stuff we get wrong that'll drive you to FBA. There's a lot of stuff they get wrong. Like we need to keep our money out community long, all that. All that's part of the whole FBA thing. We need to stick together and all that. Yeah, it's a whole lot of misinformation on that though, bro.
Yeah, it's a like I say. I mean, you already said it best. It's a marketing scheme, and then unfortunately it plays on narratives we already have, and that's what good salesmen do. Like I said, like at the end of the day, like we as people, especially in a consumer society like the United States. I was in sales for 10 years and I still sell shit or whatever. At the end of the day, if you ask 10 Americans, do they like to be sold? 8 out of 10 will say hell no. But sales works on 6 out of those 8. The actual concept of sales works on that 6 out of 8, even though they say they hate being sold. So when you have somebody who knows how to market, they can create something like this, play on your emotions, and literally sell you solutions that are not practical. Because sales is sales. It's an emotional thing. It's not logical.
Not based off no logic, right?
Nah.
Wow.
Yeah, just because you mentioned it, I'll just throw this out real quick. And it took me a long time to learn what I'm saying now, because I used to believe the opposite of what I'm about to say, which and it just, working with my friends in business as some economists or whatever. But like the concept of circulating a dollar or spending with your own has no economic foundation whatsoever. You to be successful economically, groups bring money from outside themselves back home to build up their community. You can't circulate. Like if me and Ankh circulate a dollar, we don't make we just got a dollar circulating between us. You can't make no money that way. It goes back and forth. It's no practical solution to that. But I literally when Ankh first got me to even get on YouTube, at that time I hadn't learned how that ideology, I didn't know the incorrectness of it. I used to just repeat it because I had read it so much. And repeated the information because that's how you
Powernomics.
Oh yeah, completely against it. But I didn't. But I used to push the hell out of it when I didn't know that. I used to push the hell out of Powernomics.
Oh man,
$5 Indian. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, he scammed us up. We ain't know it. I ain't gonna say scammed up, but that's but that's the one that came up with the term FBA though. The Black Indians. Yeah. Hey man, I give up, bro. Yeah, oh man, he rocked us. He rocked you to sleep, Montoya. That was your man.
I bought in for years. I was bought in. But wait. I mean, and like I say, but to the point of being scholarly, what happened was I forgot. It's what's the guy name? I think his name is Bell. He was the one that started originally sending out the research to say this concept is wrong, and found the actual. You remember what is it called? Remember when newspapers used to get put on fiche or something like that? Remember they would keep the records
on the blue paper or something.
It was called fiche, FICHE, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyway, found where the concept even came from. It was just like a college. It was like a college class that just. It was just like once I saw the research, it was like. Damn, I've been believing some bullshit all these years, And once I see, once I see something, I can't unsee it.
You said you can't unsee it. You be stuck in your brain.
Yeah, the truth is the truth. I try, I try not to. I try to fight my cognitive
dissonance.
Yeah, I try to fight the hell out of mine.
Yeah, we all try.
If we get upset, we all feel. But as long as I'm not upset, once I see the truth, I change my mind quickly.
Yeah. I can't stand leaving the conversation saying, "Damn, that nigga make more sense than what I was saying."
Y'all gone.
Yeah, so that shit don't bother me. I'll be happy as hell. I'll be like,
yeah, we up out of here too.
yeah, I'll be like happy as hell. I'll be like, damn, that motherfucker taught me something. I'll be happy as hell.
Oh man, yeah, because I know I'm in the place. Hey Trey, man, you and the homie and everybody, man, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Make sure y'all support my man, Montoya. You see his thing in the background, yo. Let me open up so y'all can see that, man. Hold on real quick, man. I want y'all to go ahead and get some of this mental dialogue. Hold on, let me remove this real quick, man. Yeah, right there, man. Where can they find you at, Montoya? You got the political show going on.
Yeah, I'm doing most of that
there, yo.
I was doing a lot of race, sex, and culture, but now it's the political show weekly. But it's youtube.com/mental dialogue. And we try to deal with the politics from the left and the right. I'm talking about we have a political experts on the show. I'm the moderator. I'm not the political expert. But we definitely try to have dialogues to give people more of the factual context than they're getting in the media by discussing the propaganda so that people know what's really happening in politics. So pretty cool. We do it. We pop up once a week. So we got
called the mental dialogue.
Yeah, youtube.com/mental dialogue.
I'm finna subscribe right now, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, you see it in the background, man. So everybody sit in the background, go over there to that channel, subscribe, man, get the notifications, man. Yeah, he always got the powerful conversations, yo.
Yeah, you watched some of the one today, huh? Didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, every time. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. I just can't believe everybody be missing. I just think you probably just gotta come over here more often, and mix it up a little bit. And they were like, oh shit, yeah, he got his own channel. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. It's the darndest thing, yo. You got some of the best conversations I heard on the damn internet, yo. I learned so much shit, yo.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that's real.
We learn from each other, bro. That's what we do. Thank you for letting me come on this. All right, I'll let you.
All right, man. All right, Trey, man. Appreciate you, but I always appreciate you coming through, Trey. I say I don't care what you say, yo. You ain't no damn FBA, yo. You're a strong black man in America, yo, that's fighting for his history, man. Make sure the kids get educated, yo. That's how I feel about you, Trey. That's real talk. That's real. All right, man. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the chat, man. We did 2 powerful shows today. Go check them out. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App, man. Show some love, man. And man, y'all know what it is around here, man. We doing what we gotta do. Keeping everything strong, making sure we stay accurate, scientifically literate, to make sure our politics, stay where they at, man. And y'all know how we do it, yo. We break out with this. Man, look, I'm your host, Bobby Banger. And with that, we out.